Zero! Where the heck have you been?
Sorry, boss. Training overran.
Training? You're a delivery boy. And I've got a code red job for you. Package incoming.
No way! Claw? I wish I could fight like him.
Stop dreaming, kid, and get moving. My client isn't the only one who wants that package.
Motion through the wasteland. Know that we ain't playing, we just sticking to the game plan. You can call it hunger every morning, gotta break fast. Even though I'm closing on focus on the baselands. They call me a legend in the making, but I don't need the bracelets. I know life is what you make it. My name ain't for conversation, I'm a legend in the making. But I don't need the title, stay ahead of all my rivals. I'm just learning from my idols. They say life is what you make it, so this is what I'm saying, bro. You better keep your guard around the crown. I can't take it home. Always the breath of you ask you when you know that this is unanimous.
Zero, where are you? Clock's ticking.
Just a few traffic problems.
If your helmet is not as a pit. Looking up to us, huh? Now they trying to get some love, right?
Put it all on the kid.
No, wait, I'm not here to fight.
This is what I'm playing for, and I came to take it home.
You're wearing my suit.
I can't take it off.
Well, if you want to keep it, you're gonna have to fight for it.
Are you ready? Not at all. Giving pressure, watch him fall. Always keep my heart calm, 'cause I know I want it all.
For years, we brought justice to our city. We made mistakes, fought amongst ourselves. Many of us fell along the way.
I almost admire your perseverance, Tyson. You and I could have been a great team.
You'll never put your hands on my research. This ends today. You need to fight back! Sonya is controlling you!
No, old friend. She freed me.
certainty in the air. I love it! Let's go! We relish making decisions. We delight in making our opinions count! And now that I'm in control, this game is in our hands. So, it's your call.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the show. The final day of the group stage, and it looks like we will have to shed the bottom six. Neptune, we saw a couple of squads really struggle to find some points yesterday. Delta's Esports, they did manage to shave off a few points down at the very bottom, but we also have teams like Flash and Shadow 7 finding their way somehow to that final circle. So the battle for the top 18 definitely going to be super tight today. We only have 3 matches for each and every single squad to go out there and do their thing. And at the end of the day, only the top 18 will survive something.
Really looking forward to how they're going to work it out. But again, there's a lot of work that has been done for those in the top 18 already. And I think with the gap that they have from bottom 6, it would be difficult even for those who are very close, like Delta Esports or Delta's Esports. Crazy Mind, who went crazy from yesterday. Yesterday was the best game that they had, but it was just a little bit too late. And hopefully they can do better this time if they really want to get that top 18.
Yeah, Crazy Minds yesterday was a day where they were very, very consistent, right? They were bringing out those points. They were getting fairly few eliminations. I don't want to say they were getting very far because they weren't getting very far. Their placement points were definitely a challenge. But as far as they were concerned, Neptune, managing to get those eliminations before they got taken out of these lobbies were looking like a fantastic run for them. But like you pointed out, I think it's just a tad bit too late, unless, of course, today is a miraculous run from them, right? If suddenly a squad that's, maybe undercover, they are a top, flight squad and they're just sitting in the bottom 6 for some reason and they want to make this dramatic entrance into the top 18 through 3 games, I'll welcome that. I think it's going to be a really fun day. But like you said, it's going to be really difficult. Delta Esports, who are literally in the 19th spot, are 39 points away from Flash, who are in the 18th spot, right? So you need to get 39 points more than these teams who are already performing decently in the competition. That's going to be rough. Let's take a look, though, at the highlights from yesterday, because it was quite an up and down day. But throughout, the whole thing, we did see quite a number of these underdogs rise up to the occasion.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, some of the teams like Shadow 7 really not performing that well from yesterday, and it gave more opportunity for most of the team to catch up. But again, it's more of how much have they done. If they can play it safe, go for survivability, then so be it. They can end in the final circle, but it's elimination that would be the question. Not a lot of teams manage to get as much as possible, especially in this latter part of group stages, comparing to the first one we're in. Most of the time, for each map, for each match, it's always top heavy. But now it's starting to trickle through even the bottom of each leaderboard. They are now finding out their groove. But again, the question remains, will they be able to get more this time? And even for Flash Gaming, they are in trouble right now. But again, they have the lead that is enough for Delta Esports. But we have the groupings to consider as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, some of these teams who are quite strong in some of the other engagements just happen to find this sudden kryptonite when we switch the groups up, right? And it's not like the other teams are beating down on them. It's just those rotations. It's just these chances on the battlefield to find these points. just keep changing every time we rotate these groups up against each other. That's exactly what the double round robin is meant to do, to test these squads up against each other to see exactly who can take advantage of or be taken advantage of out there on the battlefield. But towards the end, I think INV was one of those squads that really put on a show. Didn't really get to that final circle as consistently as Caesar did. But when you look at the eliminations, man, they bagged 51 eliminations in 3 games yesterday. It was a phenomenal match day for them. I think the lowest number of eliminations they walked away from was the Nextera, where they got 12. But apart from that, it was just them blasting everybody else away on the battlefield. I'm expecting stuff like that today, but from the bottom 6. Am I asking for too much? I think I am, but I will still ask for it.
Exactly. I mean, like they need to start believing on themselves. I mean, it's really difficult right now for those teams, but again, they've been playing not only within this tournament, but I'm seeing some reference from some of the teams right here. They've been playing for years already. So they understand the name of the game. They understand what they have to do. It's just that some other teams try to stop them in the early part of these matches. And most that is stuck in the bottom or being pushed down the bottom are the ones going for the early engagement against top dogs. And if they did their homework, if they're doing their homework, they will be able to get away from that and probably get a few more points compared to previous days.
Yeah, man. I mean, crazy minds are trying to prove themselves down at the bottom that they can find these eliminations. We know they can, but can they find those strong rotations? Can they survive in a battle royale, which focuses on survival, right? I think that's the most trickiest part of this whole thing. You need to know when to disengage. You need to know how you can get away from these compounds. You need to know each and every single map. You know, you've got those slide rails in Solara. You've got those zip lines that you need to manage. You need to figure out how to get in, how to get out in the safest way possible so that you can get to that final circle where you guarantee placement points, and then you show us your engagements, then you show us your eliminations. Unless you're a team like GCT, DZ, Zeus Esports, who can just blast their way through in each and every single game consistently, you gotta play your tactics.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, tactics would be one of the basic form that the teams need to work with even before starting this tournament. But again, some of the teams, our threshold based on the numbers that we're seeing right now, based on my calculation as well, is around 180 or around that part, if in case they want to reach the top 18. So it's still a long run for most of the teams right here, but the top 18 doesn't secure any prizes just yet. That's when you get to the top 12, that's the only time that you will get pieces of this prize, but you also have that opportunity for the most elimination as well as most damage if in case you end up lower on that leaderboard.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, can you actually get the bounty when you're not so high up on the leaderboard? You know, chances are really, really low. Unless, of course, again, you know, a squad down there who's going incognito so far in the competition suddenly decides to wake up. I think Delta's, the best we've seen from them thus far is on that very first day where we opened up the competition. They were on fire, but it was a very different sort of a grouping, right? It was the qualifiers. You know, they weren't facing off against these titans. They didn't have so many of these big boys stealing away points and making them turn into points, right? Apart from that day, it has been a dip in performance, but I think we saw strong rotations from Delta on that first day. If you can see that form of them again here today, Neptune, I think there's a very big chance they make that miraculous run. Yes, 39 points to catch up is a lot, but there's also a possibility that maybe Shadow 7, maybe Flash, maybe even ZAM team, ZT drops the ball today. ZT missed their matches yesterday. Man, and I don't think they thought it was going to be this rough. They are so close to the bottom at the moment.
I do agree. I mean, if you miss out on a lot of points, imagine that's 3 games that you are not racking up points, and that might push you in there. And it's also loss of momentum coming from the team. Though we have a rest, like before the week starts, but that's in between day number 1, day number 3. So that's a shift of momentum coming from the team. But let's see though. This might work for them. They will be playing this time around, I believe, and hopefully they'll be able to catch up. But before we go anywhere else, let's take a look at how the group stage worked, because we started off with 24 teams. They have been divided into groups of 6 and now competing or about to end competing into double round robin, or in 3 games per day is being played. So again, from what we're seeing on the leaderboard earlier, only 3 set chances for the teams to be able to take it or to make it to the top 18 and get to the knockout stage.
In totality, 18 matches will be played by each squad, of course, providing they show up in the group stage. To play for this, you walk away with a booyah, you get 12 placement points, 9 placement points for that second spot. For each and every single consecutive spot on the leaderboard, you do minus of 1 point. Down to the very bottom, though, 11th and 12th gets you absolutely nothing through placements. But eliminations is where you can buffer your squad and where they stand on the leaderboard. Every elimination gets you 1 point. And that has been the strong suit of many teams here in Free Fire World Series USA.
Yeah.
With the exception of consistency for some of these squads who are finding it to be a little bit of a struggle getting into the top 12. Now, they don't have to worry about that just yet, Neptune, because again, we are only looking for the top 18. But you do not have many opportunities to squeeze yourself into the top 12 once we get into the knockout stage next week. So you only have 2 days. But granted, we will be having those groupings there as well, which these teams still need to go through.
Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of luck depending on which group they will be ending up. Hopefully, they can get away from top dogs who would be sticking, who like, if you're part of that group, you'll be sticking with them every time, and you might be the one being beat down. So that's the tough part where even in this group stage that we have, some teams has been experiencing. And not a lot of teams, and we have an order of the map as well. So not a lot of teams has been doing quite well across all maps. There are a few specific teams or specific maps that teams have been prioritizing on. Delta's Esports, one of those has been in Bermuda. They have 14 average points that they have in that game. So that's just Bermuda, and they only have 1 chances for that for today. Hopefully Solara and Nextera will be better this time.
It's weird you brought up that point because I was about to talk about Deltas as well. Dude, Neptune, Deltas, a big portion of Delta's points, 95 points out of the 116 points for Deltas came from Bermuda. How insane is that? They are a team that performs the best on this one map. They are cursed if they go anywhere else. Well, at least so far in the competition. If they can change that today, I think there's a very big chance. I mean, imagine if Deltas can show us the performance that they show on Bermuda, on maybe Kalahari, maybe Nextera. I think it would really be something that twists their fate all around, because I think there is very big possibility that this squad does make it through if they can show up in the top 3 consistently 3 times in a row. It's asking for a lot, man. It's asking for a lot, but it's that kind of a day where you really have to see some monsters waking up within these players who are in the bottom 6.
Yeah, I do agree. I'm really looking forward to how they're going to play it out right now. Again, we're going to see in a bit the schedule that we have. Again, we're starting it off with Group A, or C and D rather, and C and D, that's where Deltas is part of, Crazy Mind is part of, but again, looking at the averages for Solara and Nextera, it's quite low compared to Bermuda. So Solara, they need to go for survivability, they need to get a lot more of elimination. The same goes for Nextera. They don't have Kalahari though, and Kalahari has been based on the number of maps or games that we played in Kalahari, it has the most elimination. So this is just mind-blowing right now. We are being shown that the sniper meta is really evident in these games.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think the snipers and the marksmen have been making so much of noise in the competition so far, and everybody within this region has been taking good advantage of it. And it's fantastic to see. It's beautiful to see, right? We were initially very upset that the USA was not following the meta. This time, though, I think that whole script has been flipped. Everybody is on the meta. There is still some creative elements coming through where we are seeing super flexes. We are seeing rushers who are bombers, who are also snipers. You know, we are seeing rushers who are also the support players who bring in the Thiva to pick up the rest of the team members. I mean, whatever works for your squad right now to get to the top, you use it. But as you get further down in the competition, as the fight gets a little stiffer, as the road to the top gets a little bit more difficult, you'll have to play this, in a totally different way, like what we've seen within the other regions. Unless, of course, again, Neptune, unless this is that region that brings in the magic and shows the world that, hey, this is how you can get it done.
I do agree. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities for a team to really show up in meta. But if you see the commonality in most of the region, they have specific skills. based on their role. So rushers have some usual snipers. I think that's something that we are seeing more evident.
Yeah.
But for the rushers, for the support, they're like all-rounders is I would say not that strong when it comes to a global stage. When you go in going against some other teams, they know they prioritize in whatever they have to do based on their roles, and that's where they put in their presets, those active and passive skill, even the pets, even the loadouts. So that just brings more structure to their team.
Yeah, man, it's an advice that I received when I was really young, and I feel like it's one of the most sound advices I've ever received. Don't ever be a jack of all trades, but a master of none. So if you're not going to be specializing in some of these roles with your active passive skills, you might be hurting your squad later down the road. If you figure it out earlier, and if you start playing on that, maybe the fate that you have in the competition so far can just turn around overnight, right? Because it does make a very, very big difference out there. But it also, of course, will have to come hand in hand with the chemistry, with the communications, with the actions executed out there on the battlefield, which I feel like not everybody has got a good hold of. I feel like a underdog, a team that's really unsuspecting, that's out there, that could be very dangerous for the competition is Ruthless. Man, this squad, they are sneaky. They know their way to the final circle. It's not a team that depends on a lot of eliminations. They can get those eliminations, but they're always prioritizing finding that final circle, which I think is the key element if you want to dominate the competition. They're not so high up the leaderboard though, Neptune. But in the grand finals, it doesn't really matter where you sit on the leaderboard as long as you meet the conditions for Champion Rush.
Exactly. And looking at numbers coming from Ruthless, I mean, 9 out of 15 games that they played, they end up in the top 3. That's 60% that they are on the final circle. That's mind-blowing coming from a team right here.
Yes.
And looking at the placement that they have, if you recall the leaderboard that we have, they tie it up with DZ Esports. So I do agree with you in terms of elimination, but tying up with placement with the number 1 spot or with number 1 team, that's already an achievement.
That is a freaking big achievement, man. And nobody has entered the top 3 as many times as Ruthless has. This is going to be a very interesting thing. I don't expect to see the best of Ruthless now just yet. Today, I'm hoping Ruthless just falls asleep. Many of these teams in the top 12 just fall asleep. They are not motivated to play. They're like, yay, okay, we made it through already. And then the underdogs rise to the occasion. We see a lot of shifts between the bottom 6 and the teams that are from the 13th spot all the way down to the 18th spot. I think, okay, maybe that's asking for too much. Maybe teams from the 16th spot to the 18th spot to be able to fight this out, right? Because we are looking at maybe even Stellar Esports could potentially lose their position in the top 18 if Delta Esports goes for 100 point a day. I don't know. It's gonna be a tough one. It's possible to believe crazy minds are capable of it if they just fix their rotations, man.
I do agree. I mean, they were being caught off guard. They do have that aggression. Most of the time, like, they're not even escaping. They're not even going for that insurance policy that we often see for the teams who are trying to survive towards the end. They just want to go crazy. They want to go ham and getting all those eliminations, chase around a lot of teams, hearing those gunshots, and then they're just acting up in a rush. But it's not how it works right here. Yes, it does work for those mechanical skilled teams who have been playing this group stages quite well, but if you're just trying to catch up, then it's a different formula for you.
Absolutely. But of course, even as we say the bottom 6 have to play catch up today, it's going to be really rough, especially in this next lobby. It's the battle between Group C and D. This happens at Solara. Who are the teams that will be within Group C and D that dominates Solara usually? You've got Zeus, you've got Caesar, you've got Nova, you've got Ruthless, you've got Shadow 7 even doing really well on this map. O1 Esports does really well on this map. 1NT is in this lobby. So yeah, man, good luck if you're trying to get some points, because these boys are ass kickers out there, Neptune. I think this Solara map is going to start off really exciting.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Deltas, who is very close, are at the very bottom of this leaderboard right now when we look at this map and this group. But let's see though, flight path coming from just north of Ego Drain heading to Waterfall. Windmill though, where everyone has been starting off those fights. Same goes with Delta Isle, a little bit too far, but let's see if they can find their spot. And I guess for Ruthless right now, they will be dropping an Echo Drain. There's O1 Esports who will be joining them, but a little bit too far though on the outside of the compounds.
Absolutely, man. And we just had to start off with the biggest challenge of all for Deltas. This is Delta's worst map, bro. Okay?
Yeah.
If Bermuda is their best, Solara is literally their worst. So we are starting off with a little bit of a challenge. And as I speak of Deltas, DZ Esports is whooping their butt on another side of the map. So this is going to be a rough start for them. Shadow 7's already lost one player. Royal Tigers at Archway should have a big advantage up against them, as Sanchez 7 doesn't even have the right gun in his hands just yet. Ruthless up against O1. Wow, well, find the first player. Yoshi taken down as well. Luisi manages to back away, but Rapper doesn't. Not too far away from the vending machine. The final player just scurrying over to find those revivals for Ruthless.
Let's see, Lucio can go for that push, but he's being shot at,
GG.
and it might be it. Ruthless out of the fight. DZ in going against Deltas, and Delta seems like the one who is winning this, or this might be just Royal Tigers bringing the pressure as a third party. DZ Esports top of the leaderboard, but bottom in this game.
You gotta love it, man. That's the best. Delta's managing to turn things around. DZ did manage to pull away one player from their side, but it looks like they've managed to punish 3 in return with the support of the Royal Tigers as well. Not too bad for a squad that's struggling to find the top 18. Royal Tigers gonna lose Aizen to Chris and the Trogon. Chris finding that recovery real quick, but supported with the Winchester as well. Akash shut down, and Delta's 5 points in hand. Some magic happening out there right now, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. They are starting to believe, and they're holding on to that feeling. I'm really loving the Delta slowly catching up. Hopefully they survive, though, because Shadow 7, here comes a new challenger for this fight. Shadow 7 might be one of those that might caught them off guard, especially if Sanchez 7 has a sniper on him. But on the other side, O1, who managed to win that fight earlier, and Echo Drain is now meeting up with Crazy Mine, but not too crazy to get too close, and O1 might be taken out because they don't have that much to cover.
2 players on the side. Riptide Rhythm breaking down the defenses. Pianito shut down by Dex from afar with the Woodpecker. Brilliant play, but brilliant recovery as well. Pianito saved by his buddies. Double glue wall set up. Mayota taken out of the equation. Crazy Minds understanding that they can't take this fight as easy. They do pull out the lightning zone, and they quickly navigate their way out of danger. Deltas, on the other hand, pressured by Shadow 7. 2 players taken out of the equation already. The average points that they have on this map is only 5. Do they leave with those 5 points? A sliver of health for Farox, and he drops as well. Chris 9 on the getaway mission as the final survivor for Deltas.
Deltas will be saved. Chris for the clutch. Triple revive. And they're still in place. A good thing that Archway is not far behind. It's not far away from where they engage. But it would be tough on where they will be dropping. But 1 horsepower, Gaviota from Zeus Esports trying to beat down 2 players from O1. Forced to use that more. Gaviota couldn't even escape. And there's no rescue coming from Zeus Esports. O1 racking up 6 points.
Man, that cowboy thought he could take on the world. Found out very quickly that O1's not messing around just yet. Zeus Esports, this is what I wanted. The top teams to just fall asleep very early on in the day and allow some phenomenal fights out of these underdogs. Lotex Bow on the chase. Oscar, Valiant Dash already used, needs to buy some time for himself. And he does not respect the king, and he will be punished.
Bow down to the king, and nades will be thrown. This might be it. Huevito right now going in for the flank just to make sure that they will be stayed in place. Only 1 remains to the God Nade coming from King Lands, but Dez has been revived. It's not done for O1 just yet.
Hack interfering. Crazy Mind stepping by the compound as Zeus tries to take O1 Esports out of the equation. Crazy Minds potentially trying to backstab the Kings themselves. There is a vending machine here, so recovery should be fairly easy for Wah. King taken out of the equation. Not too far from the vending machine, but Hack stabbing him in the back. Taking Wah out of the equation. Des does manage to get to the vending machine, though. Buys back one player. That's the insurance policy for 0-1.
Another one will be bought 400. We're still in discount right now on the revive, but not for long. Later on, they will need 600 to get one. But Pianito will be played a little bit right now because the TMJ is still in play. Going solo against Crazy Mind. There goes Wevito being taken down by a Hack, and only one remains within the area of Riverside right now, and they will need to be careful. I know that Zeus has the insurance policy already, but they would need to loot fast.
Absolutely, man. Gotti finding Gaviota, taking him out. M1917 in action there. The double revolvers finding a very strong player out in the open. Caesar, battle up against Nova. The battle of the big boys here. And yep, Caesar's definitely a big boy in my eyes. Flanking around towards the left is Darius. T-kill down on the ground already. Van Dyke does have the cord in hand. Darius with the backstab! Monstrous shots! And he cleans up house. Noah sent running. Van Dyke, the final player. No! And he will not stand a chance up against that VSK.
Nova has been turned into Supernova right now, a Dying Star. And now we are down with a Caesar is not slowing down. They are still showing up. Really loving that. From the momentum that they have halfway through the group stages, they are still picking it up. But they need to pick up a few more. We're now heading into the second phase of our circle right now. And the shift might be heading away from this team. It's getting in within the archway in Bloomtown's territory, and a lot of teams might be using those slide rails, but it doesn't get across this specific area, so they need to use those launch pads as well if they want to get there fast.
Absolutely, man. You always got to have the launch pad as a secondary device on Solara. You can't take advantage of these situations. And Zeus, though, an easy revival. Going to be bringing Gaviota back into play. One Esports, on the other hand, not staying behind to pressure the rest of the players from the side of Zeus. As they quickly back away, using those slide rails, you can see 3 boosts already activated here, Neptune, on the squad from the team boosters. They need 3 more. Question is, did they bring in 2 team boosters?
Yeah, let's see. I mean, for Deltas, they do have 5 already. So definitely 2 team boosters for a team. But Pocosin will be bleeding out. Not quite sure if he can be rescued. But with Chris 9 on Overwatch, or not really Overwatch, but had clear view of some of the players of Caesar, they might be able to go for a pickup and probably go for the flank. Not heading straight into Archway, but they can go for a full rotate. There's still plenty of space for them, but it doesn't stop Deltas. We still have Tally on the snipe, so this might be a push coming from Delta Sport.
Yeah, Delta's about to piss off the wrong squad here. Their average points on this map is 5, and they might just leave with it if they make a big mistake in this battle. Darius is going to get caught out here. The push comes on through, Poco's in, backstab. And Chris is the one that finds the finisher with the Car 98. But it's going to be traded out here by Fake 8. AC80 from afar gets the headshot. Caesar not wants to mess with. And Deltas might just realize that as they try to back away. Muslim with a VSK. Spotted out by Tali. AWM in his hands. Muslim's in trouble, but Tali does not take the shot.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's mostly for information. You don't want to take shot because some of the players from Deltas is still out in the open, and they might be the ones targeted if they get that general location. So they want to regroup, they want to revive one player from their side, and then fight a different day or for a different time. Now, for 90 Piketty, they are a little bit slow though compared to what we've seen from yesterday and the other days. But now they tried to push in one NT or push out one NT with that lightning zone. Hopefully that is a good plan for them because a lot of teams might be gunning for them because they have prime location.
Oh, Tali, what are you doing, sir? Rotating out in the open. The sniper of the squad is going to be spotting out Dex, but that also could mean that a whole squad is right behind him. Zeus getting stuck in a battle up against Shadow 7. The lower ground disadvantage here for Zeus. They do lose one. One NT losing their players to 90 Piketty Esports as well. This might just be a squad elimination from the side of 90 Piketty as the battle continues here for Zeus. Up against Shadow 7. Misa Goat up top. tossing in those grenades, finding King, tagging him up. No knocks coming on through just yet. Domi brings NA right back in here, but one NT does not survive as they come across Caesar off screen. And one NT taken out in the 8th spot, Nep.
Yeah, so from the feed that we've seen, we have 9 Spaghetti being dealing with 1 NT. Caesar's also in the mix, and I think we also saw some players from Crazy Mind who managed to get an elimination against 1 NT. So that's 3 teams within the same area. And as you can see, we have Chris on the hit list right now against Cardinal Sewer. So let's see though if they can get away, if they can move away from that area. Otherwise, they might be the next target of the team. But 90 Spaghetti going in for the dance, not making those shots just yet. But 8 elimination coming from Crazy Minds. This is just insane coming from this team.
Dude, Crazy Minds might just be looking for that dramatic entrance into the top 18 just through 2 days of play. Lightning Zone called again by 90 Spaghetti Esports. These guys must be rich. Pianito M590, time turner pulled out, and the backstep from Kenny is perfect. Into the mag 7 though, does manage to find the trade, but put down by Domi. Phenomenal fight. Hack brought back by Mayora, hanging on for their dear life. Crazy Minds picked on the wrong squad this time round.
9 Spaghetti just showing that money is power. They have plenty of money and they are bringing the power against Crazy Minds, but Mayota did manage to go for a revive for the rest of the squad. The question though is, can they survive the drop? They are now in the crosshairs of a lot of team, and Pianito almost being taken down. The sliver of health, but here comes the flag. Kenny though didn't go for that push. That could have been a takedown already.
Oh, beautiful. 90 Spaghetti Esports punishing the wrong decision made here by Crazy Minds. Man, these guys are definitely crazy. Coming back in here for a reach out. If they pull this off, it'll be ridiculous, but I just don't think they have the manpower to pull this crazy stunt off. Crazy Minds definitely proving they are not of sound mind with that decision.
Let's see though. Focusing would be going solo right now. Slide rails, but there you have it with Muslim on the car 98. They will be taken down. We're down to 6 teams already, and most of them are still at top of the leaderboard, other than Crazy Mind, who's, well, I think needs a lot of recovery right now, but not a lot of space to work with.
Delta's not too bad at all, just improving their average on this map, but they stay average on this map. Misa Gold, headshot from afar. Muslim down on the ground, Caesar's in trouble, but Misa Gold rushed by Vacate. Out of nowhere, he appeared like the angel of that. M590 getting the shot. And Carlos follows up with the M1014 as well. Terror on a sliver of health, finished up. Caesar, what a play, what a rush. And this was the guy that's getting picked up off the ground. Fake 8 that made that all happen. Zeus up against all 1 Esports. Looks like this is going to be the end of King. A sliver of health left on him. Can't pick up the rest of his buddies. Barricades himself in. The inhaler is not going to help him out in this situation. The only blessing here is that all 1's going to be pressured by the circle as well. King does not have that active skill available.
Let's see. I mean, we have a couple of players from 01 Esports right now. King is trying to survive. Super Medkit is already dwindling his HP, and his gold glue wall blocks him, and they might be the ones in trouble from afar. From downtown, Tommy from 90 Spaghetti ends them.
Man, Zeus is not able to go far this time round. Caesar looking like they're strong for a booyah. 90 Spaghetti looking like nothing can stop them at this point of time, but NA has not picked up a single elimination. And Muslim from afar, Dobby down on the ground, takes him out of the equation as well. Vending machine too far, 90 Spaghetti has to stick this with 3 players.
Let's see though, we have Caesar, who is the only full squad of having a mix right now. A 1 player from Crazy Minds and a couple from 01. This might be going to the Emperors themselves. The Emperor Caesar at this point. They are elimination leader, but Fake 8 has been taken down with Becker, and he would be confirmed. 01 still aggressive, but lowest power on the ground, and 01 will be eliminated by Darius himself.
Man, Darius the monster. 3 eliminations back to back to back. M590. Yes, Fake 8 did make one tiny little mistake there, but he made that battle happen as well with those entry shots. Taken out of the equation. The support must be high on the side of Fake 8, but Darius making sure he doesn't disappoint his buddy who sacrificed his life there. Crazy Minds down at the bottom together with Nine Spaghetti Esports. Taking on Caesar, who have the high ground advantage, but now a disadvantage with the movement of the circle.
Oh my god, using that monster truck to get away, try to survive. Will he be able to heal up? Because the shift would be favoring him. He can get away for another run with that monster truck. But here comes Enye going in for the flank. Not spotted because it's stealth bites. And this might be the end of Crazy Minds if he doesn't move. And up close and personal with the AWM. No end just yet for the guy. He goes for a Grand Theft Auto, but doesn't survive Carlos 9 on AC-80.
Man, Carlos had the advantage there with the AC-80. And now, I mean, props to Crazy Minds for surviving for so long. We talked about a team from the bottom 6 getting into the top 3 consistently 3 times in a row. Crazy Minds wanting to be that squad. Let's see if they can make it with this miraculous dramatic play. But Caesar up against 90 Spaghetti, looking for the bounty this time round. Caesar, NEA, fantastic. He's trying to get it done with the side. Gets the first one, but punished by Muslim from afar with the car 98.
Let's go with the 3v2. If in case a pickup will not be done. And Nine Spaghetti slowly dwindling Caesar once again for the Booyah. Great start for the team who managed to catch up from almost the bottom and now slowly building their way to the top.
Absolutely one of the top squads here in the competition. Picking up their 4th Booyah, trying to equalize up against DZ GCT, and they are on the right track to do that, Neptune. What a surge of energy coming through from this squad just through their movements out there. You saw how serious they were. And Muslim, man, this guy was not missing his shots. And Darius was just chomping up on the battlefield on the front ground. It is on the front line, sorry. And the M590R, this guy, just unstoppable. Back to back. I think he got triples on 2 squads just in this one game.
Exactly. I mean, it's really tough right now. I think Darius is one of the names that we've seen overall, even from a previous season, even when it was FFUSC. So I'm really loving that they're still carrying that name, the aggression so far, adjusting the M590, and a combination with a CQC and a long-range player. That's just one mix that Caesar managed to pull off quite well, and hopefully they bring this not only in knockout stage, but also the grand finals, because it looks like they're primed to get into that grand final.
Absolutely, man. There is definitely a bounty available for the highest damage dealt here in the group stage, Neptune. So I'm sure these squads are going for that as well, because you see some rash decisions out there. They just want to find some bullets and make those connections with them.
Well, let's see, though. I mean, hopefully those rash decisions doesn't itch that much that they will be taken down and distracted later on. You know how rashes work. At some point, it surprises you in the wrong timing.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Neptune, but never mind, man. We'll scratch that itch later. It was a great run from Deltas, but, you know, just slightly outperforming their usual average on Solaris, not going to help their case in terms of survival. They got to pull off a Crazy Minds, man. And Crazy Minds was 7 points behind Deltas. And props to Crazy Minds, because yesterday the distance between Crazy Minds and Deltas was way bigger than that, right? They sliced it down with a great run yesterday, and they're continuing to do so today. Getting themselves into that final circle was something that was just very, very impressive. Unfortunate the Deltas couldn't pull that off.
I mean, it's tough. They managed to, they tried though. They tried so far, but unfortunately they were eliminated a little bit early in this fight. And they did get a few eliminations, but not that much, only on a 6 if I'm not mistaken. So with the placement that they have, it brings them to still double digits, but close to the 10 or 11 spot.
Yeah, man. And towards the end, 0-1 themselves had to falter, and Caesar just maintaining that high ground advantage. Movements were perfect. You got to praise Enye for his big brain at that point of time. He knew the site works in some, panicky situations, but up against 2 players, I guess it just didn't work out the way he wanted it to go. But towards the end, Caesar's definitely showing us that they're not just going for 1 bounty today. They're going for 2 bounties overall. They won the highest damage, and they definitely won the bounty for the highest eliminations from the day. Muslim's your MVP, 8 eliminations, 5 assists, 1 headshot, 4,452 on the damage, rocking a solid sniper build off of that Moss. Just has a little variation here instead of Raphael. He brings in that Susie.
Yeah, I mean, they really need those survivability with those coins. Again, money is power right here. From what we've seen so far, if you can bring back your teammates with a few coins that you gathered, then that's good because you have the numbers. But speaking of numbers between Darius and King, it's definitely going to Darius this time. 6 elimination, and 3 of which are back-to-backs that won't be witnessed in those CQCs. 39-69 in damage, 4 headshots, and 4 assists. Comparing to King, though, who was not given the opportunity to go for a fight. In most cases, they're the ones being pressured on Eco Drain earlier, and that was tough for Zeus Esports. They just went for a revival run.
Absolutely, man. 19 eliminations out of 74 for Caesar. This was not the craziest game out of game stats we've seen overall, but it's pretty decent, I would say. Total knocks 97. I did expect more from the underdogs, and the underdogs did show us some action at the very least. But of course, Caesar still had to take the crown.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're going to see a lot more of those battles, especially now we're heading into Bermuda. And Bermuda is one of those that has been repeating, it's showing in most cases than not. So counting from every matches that we have in Bermuda, that's 10 out of all the matches, and that brings more numbers for some of the teams. And I think that's one reason as well why even Deltas, their numbers are offset because of the number of matches they played in Bermuda.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm looking forward to seeing some of these top teams really not mess around with the lobby this time around. But, these guys just have been activated by the bounties, Neptune. There's nothing that can stop them. The underdogs are going to be tortured out there. They're all going to be given a run for their money for sure. The interesting thing here is, obviously, we're going to see Deltas kind of climb the leaderboard a little bit, but I don't think they're going to get nearer. They're not going to climb just yet. Yeah. But they are going to seem like they're making a big difference because both Zam Team as well as Flash are currently not playing in this lobby. Even Stellar Esports is not playing just yet. All 3 of them are in A and B.
And as we look into Crazy Minds right now, only 4 points in between them and Delta's Esports, so they are making that climb and counting the number of points that they need. They need 34, so that's what around the 17 mark for each game, and I think they can pull it off. But they have to worry about those teams that will be coming from A and B, like Zam Team as well as Flash Gaming, who hasn't played just yet. So they need to do double for each map in this game if they really want to secure that spot.
So good on the underdogs here from Group C and D. Like you said, they don't have to deal with a lot of the sniper torture because we don't have the Kalahari map available for them. But at the end of the day, you still have to avoid those Car 98s, those Woodpeckers, those AC80s. It's easier said than done. We've seen Deltas as well as Crazy Mind showing us that they can find those eliminations, but they're not finding those final circles at all. Deltas, very specifically, Neptune, they've got less than a 10%. In fact, close to a 5% top 3 rate. They barely ever see that final circle.
It's tough, definitely, especially for Delta's Esports right now. They tried their best, but again, couldn't survive their worst map. But again, this is something, one of the map that is very where everyone or every team has been familiar with. So I'm really looking forward Deltas would find a better location, probably a Booyah, hopefully a Booyah, so that they can catch up to those above them, take that leeway against Flash. And if they will be hoping against their opponents, they will be hoping that Flash doesn't get any points. So it will be easier for them to really get to that 18 spot.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm very curious to see exactly who rises up to the occasion here from groups A and B, but we'll have to wait 2 more games. The finisher, the ending for the teams in group C and D. Deltas, Crazy Minds, Royal Tiger, 3 squads only have 2 more opportunities to do whatever possible, and then all they need to do is just sit down and watch their fate in the hands of Zam Team, Flash, as well as Stellar Esports, right? But in order to even get to that position first, they got to somehow make that break into the top 18. You need 29 points out of Deltas, out of this next game, just to get to that 18th spot. Neptune, it looked difficult, but now it's looking close to impossible based on what we are seeing. But the blessing here is we're going to Bermuda, man. This is the map for Deltas.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, Deltas has a better play this time around. Hopefully, they get their booyah in this point, and that 29 can lead to a 35 bomber game for them if they can deal with long range engagement. Again, that might have been like the CQZs might have been the weakness of Deltas because from earlier they managed to go for that aggressive run, but when another team was introduced to them, they started dwindling. Even the drop of their revive players is just a little too thin. They don't regroup to one spot wherein they can take advantage of that position, save their teammates, and then loot up from where they came from. But it's just a tough decision to be made by a lot of teams right there, and Deltas needs to make those quick decisions.
Absolutely, man. I mean, easier said than done. Easier, really. Because this lobby is just full of, butt whoopers. All right? They are just insane. One of the most aggressive lobbies we have seen in many of the regions that we have casted for so far, Neptune. USA just has to be one of those where it's just so unsuspecting. You don't know who's going to go out there. You don't know who's going to dominate. You don't know who's going to find these big numbers. Even Cartel, sir, even Caesar is surging up to the top towards the final here, just as they're gearing up to play the knockout stage in the grand finals. Makes me very excited, but also makes me a tad bit sad that the teams down at the bottom 6 can't find that sort of energy within them. But fingers crossed, we do see more of them in the following seasons because it's all about the consistency. It's not about just stepping into the stage and being able to dominate straight off, right? Sometimes you gotta have the arcs where you're building, you're learning, you're suffering a tad bit, because then that makes the victory so much more sweeter at the end.
Yeah, the hero journey, as we say it, wherein you got beat down, but you still managed to get back up, and that is where some of the invited teams, so they're not only showing up in FFWS, but also in the previous seasons, like Caesar, like Zeus Esports, who was named a different squad back then. So I'm really loving that on every time that they come back, they are showing that they're a little bit stronger. So hopefully the same goes with the others who doesn't make it for this season, and even those who didn't make it for survival stage. We want to see them back, but back to the OG map. This is Free Five's green grass of home. Bermuda right now is our next field.
Well, let's see if Caesar will run away with it again, or if Delta's Esports will, for the very second time, find themselves in the top 3. They've been in the top 3 one time, but I don't think it's something that we should be counting. In fact, guess what? Round 1 has never ever been in the top 3, even a single time. Round 1 has never even gotten one round in the top 3. That's upsetting. But it's okay. We'll see if or not in the final 3 games of their run in here, they'll be able to do that. Well, I doubt even if they do get into the top 3, they can manage to break into the top 18.
Probably one reason as well why they are always ending up at the bottom, or they are in bottom of the leaderboards, because of that consistency. So if you don't make it to the final circle, you don't even get a lot of elimination, because definitely if you get in final circle, you'll have a few of those eliminated teams across the way, along the way. So let's see if that would happen this time around for round 1. But Deltas would be the focus. Crazy Mind would be the focus as well. I'm really loving that the move that they have right now brings it closer to reaching their required average for this game. But for Crazy Mind, per map for the remaining 2 games, they need at least like 24, 25 to be able to get to the threshold. And let me correct myself, my threshold has changed right now. Earlier I said 180. I think it's around 170 now. So it's closer for some of the teams.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Of course, we do have to include Royal Tigers into this list as well. But with 2 more games, 53 points needed just to find the 18th spot, I think it's going to be rough. But Deltas, though, losing players back-to-back here. Not looking good so far for the team, bumping into Caesar. But 90 Spaghetti out of the equation very early on is a big blessing for some of these underdogs. At least that's one less monster to worry about.
Yeah, and they've been dealt with crazy minds. And I'm really loving the crazy minds going crazy right now. Again, the clutch play it might be happening. Crazy Minds is elimination leader at this point with Deltas. With Revive and a couple of players, let's see if they can go in for the battle. But here comes King out of nowhere, jumping in like a flying trapeze. And Caesar is now scrambling. But I don't think King will be surviving. But no, even Darius has been taken down. It's good thing that Pokusin would be on the other side. So this is Deltas saving their aggressors, Caesar. But will they be able to go for the beatdown right now as the rest of the squad is going in for the push?
I am not sure why Deltas are poking their nose into this. They should be running. They do not have the numbers to sustain out there. But they're trying to steal away a couple of points, and they do manage to punish the players on the side of Zeus. Man, Deltas, you better not regret this move. Here comes TMJ, Mini Uzi in hand. He doesn't have the right gun. He gets sprayed down as well. Pokusin finds him. Things are going the way of Deltas. 5 eliminations in hand so far. But you see those triple revives? You should not be messing around, Deltas. Get the heck out of there before they come back for some revenge.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, from Bullseye, they can rotate into Graveyard and then close the gap on the next phase of the circle, probably in Catalistiwa or Hangar. But those launch pads will definitely help them to reach those goals, those locations. But for Novas, Calvin, though, didn't expect a VSS coming from Van Dijk with great fire rate. It brings him down quite easily.
No, what's up with Van Dijk, man? He's got always the good guns. The quad, the VSS. Super accurate with it as well. Rayford's not going to be able to survive this one. Ruthless getting caught out. One NT up against Ruthless, up against Royal Tigers. A 3-way battle. Royal Tigers are out of the open. One NT with a big rotation round. Eisen catches Fabian. And it looks like it's going to be a full-blown battle between Royal Tigers and 1NT now.
Let's see if this is something that Royal Tigers can win. And they need the points, but catching up would be a different story. And right now being beat down. M18A7 not making that shot. And Eisen brings out the Max 7, trying to isolate them away from the vending machine. But unfortunately, there's a few gaps in those glue walls that gives an opening for Royal Tigers to beat them down. There goes a hitless onto King Goat. It's not looking good for this team right now.
I'm not complaining, man. The 3 teams who are in the bottom 6 are currently in the top 4 of the elimination leaderboard. This is looking good. This is looking phenomenal. Ruthless with the slay, finding another player from the side of 1NT. 1NT on the struggle, holding on with one final player on their side. As Royal Tigers makes the rotation, the potential bump into Nova. They've scanned out one player. Man, that's the King Goat himself. Royal Tigers do have an advantage with the numbers here out of this monster truck. But if Nova calls for backup, that might just be the end of them early. Ruthless up against DZ. Here comes Pili on the push. Up against 3 players from the side of DZ. If he gets caught out, this is going to be rough. And the Cryo Mine gives away his position. The rush comes on through Max 7. Oh, the grenade finding the tag. And he just managed to go in for the investment on the time turner as well, but doesn't work anything off of it.
A little bit delayed on that flick or on that swing, and he could have hit a headshot already, giving away for a clutch and a 1v2. But DZ, battle's not yet over. Alex, though, being shut down. And Yoshi would be the next target. Even the UAV would not help him that much. And Lucas managed to land those. Now, Ruthless right now trying to find another one, but not from DZ. They are looking for some of the players who's just dropping in, and that is Caesar, Muslim, that they managed to take down.
Yeah, great play from Rafa here. Managed to take down a player from the side of Caesar and also hit the double revival. Back-to-back play. Vegas and the brilliant push comes on through, all thanks to the Iris. Vegas did have the Valiant dash, but that did him no favors whatsoever in that circumstance.
Yeah, I mean, Luisito was just shooting him out as he lands on a rooftop and tried to get the glue wall, but Iris did manage to do its job. But a lot of pressure would be coming in a bit because 1NT, Brian going in for that vehicle gameplay. But unfortunately couldn't land those shots. Ruthless still in trouble though because some players from Nova is dealing with the Ruthless right now. So Nova is one of those team that has a sole survivor who managed to bring back the rest of the squad, and now they're gathering with numbers.
Yeah, a missed opportunity with that RGS. Should have just focused on the advantage the AC-80 gave him up against the vehicle. But it doesn't matter. I'm sure we'll see more of them later. Delta's now on the push, trying to hit Nova. And they are going to find Hayate. The Punisher comes on through. 10 elimination strong for Deltas now as they are on the hunt. Ruthless taken out of the equation already. And it looks like Nova's not staying to play. They want to hit that vending machine. TQ scurrying away. And it looks like he will be able to bring at least one buddy back in here.
I don't know if we just jinxed
three
Ruthless.
buddies back in here.
Clutch and a revive again. I don't know if we just jinx Ruthless because 2 times in a row they end up not in the top 3. So that's one thing that we often see coming from this team. But again, this is the finals day. We were expecting a lot of teams would be this aggressive. Well, let's see though on how the bottom would be ending up as Royal Tigers. Not only are we seeing a Crazy Mind, Deltas, but also Royal Tigers now racking up points, and the rotation is on point.
Yeah, this proves the theory. When you light a fire under your butt, you're going to jump. You're going to do something. You're going to work. Here comes Wow, 01 Esports, looking for the vending machine, but Royal Tigers should be able to find this Mag 7 easy spray down. And that's the 8th elimination point. Royal Tigers waking up, but realizing that they're late for school.
Let's see, I mean, they can cram, they can take the bus, whatever ride they have, but I'm really loving that position, that aggression being shown by Tornado earlier. There's glue wall against him, and then he pull up a glue wall so that he can use a Valiant Dash without being seen, without being expected, and he gets for that elimination with the Max 7. Backstab onto Misagoat, another Valiant Dash elimination coming from Gavi Yoda, and Misagoat would be on the ground. The rest of Shadow 7 though is giving time to get away, spread out, and this is one of the downfall from Shadow 7, that spread this time where everyone is just aggressive and still surviving towards the 9th minute might beat them down a few more even if they find the compound.
I think Shadow 7's not going to be able to do this. Oh, but that leads Zeus directly to Nova. If the two big boys take each other out, maybe thin the numbers down, some of these underdogs can take advantage of the situation. TMJ trying, VSK from afar, not finding those shots just yet. Ultra ad drop in the hands of Nova. At least they're trying to get it to their side, but Zeus just being annoying with this approach. And this is going to be a little bit of a distraction. They can't beat down those pillars just yet.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think they will lose that time with the Ultra Airdrop, but I'm really loving the position coming from Zeus Esports right now. We have 1 on the flank, we have 2 on the push, and 1 on support. And this might catch Nova Esports off guard! And King, a headshot with a woodpecker! And now goes for the push! It might be a double, but he's just a little bit too slow on that jump. And now Nova's dealing with these players of Zeus, but Zeus only left with TMJ, who is the last guy who's going for the flag now, going for a retreat.
Yeah, that was the best case scenario here. Just 2 Titans knocking each other down, taking away a lot of resources from each other, and of course, in the case of Zeus, taking away their lives and a lot of coins for those revives. Deltas up against DZ. Man, big fight for Deltas. I'm a little worried here.
Yeah, I mean, Deltas is one of those teams that couldn't make it that well on the CQC. Chris 9 VSK, not quite sure what the plan is, but did manage to spot out some players on the other side of that wall and that room, but there's no backup that would save him. Tally, though, great view on the window. He might be able to take that shot, but no. Missed an opportunity to take a shot on Vex, and even Pokusin is in trouble. This might be it. DZ's not slowing down, and Deltas might be taken out, but you can see 1 player from Deltas moving away and trying to go for that insurance policy, so this might not be over for Deltas just yet.
It ain't over till it's over, but it looks like it's about to be over.
Close to it.
Yeah, man, that's rough. That's really rough. DZ, I just didn't feel good seeing them in such close proximity with Deltas, but at least the deed ain't done just yet. Delta's still hanging on somewhere. Look at that! They make their comeback! Peru with the triple on the revive. You gotta love it. They're hanging on, Neptune.
Yeah, let's see though. I mean, there's a cliffhanger for Deltas right now. The only question though, now that we're in 3rd phase going forward, is where will they be landing? Factory is one of those compound, one of those areas that have plenty of loot space, but there's plenty of open space as well. They can end up on the rooftop, but it would be difficult if they jump out because a lot of teams are already occupying that from what we've seen in the horizon in this view from Clock Tower.
Zeus down at the bottom. Has got a little bit of cover here, but Shadow 7 just putting the pressure on them. Spotting the feet of the players. The court is damn annoying from a distance like this. Oh, almost got punished there. Great play and great pressure from Shadow 7. But now they've pissed the Kings off. Here comes Zeus for the rush. A couple of glue walls will be barricading them away from Shadow 7. And look at Shadow 7. Great maze glue wall set up just so that they can navigate their way out of danger. And they escape for the time being. Muslim hits that double revival. Brings the chances of Caesar up a tad bit more for a back-to-back.
See, if they can go for that back-to-back, they need to back away from the rest of the squad here in Clock Tower because it's getting too crowded right now. Nova Esports, though, 6 elimination only as we are about close to the end of this map. But Shadow 7 now hiding out after escaping Zeus Esports earlier. Good position for them to take, but hopefully they can pull away from this because the moment those glue walls expires, then they will be in a great shooting range by the other teams.
Muslim tagged up, Cryo Mine, forced back, and will get marked here as well. I believe he took that plushie out of the equation before running away, but punished by Pianito. High ground advantage for the SVD.
Crazy Mind. Still have full squad. Shadow 7. This is what I'm talking about. Novas with M79. If those glue walls expired, then they would be great shooting wood. I didn't expect that M79 can be brought in, or probably a grenade, but that just wiped out the entire Shadow 7 squad.
A beautiful play on the Cryo Mine to open up this battle. 1NT on the other hand. Brian, quick reposition with the more spots out. Nova on rotation. Got caught out here though. Pianito shut down. Battles all around the battlefield because such a tiny circle. 9 squads still hanging on for their dear lives. Cryo Mine going to be sent the way of Nova. Multiple squads trying to break down their glue walls, and they will be successful at doing so. DZ's Lucas gets caught out. Holy hell, we've got so many battles happening at the same time, Neptune.
Yeah, definitely. And next phase of the circle is out and open. And it gets even tighter. Nova, though, goes for elimination for some players who just jump in against them. And this is Crazy Mind. But Hack was the only one who is down. And there goes one team taken out right here. Now we're down to 8 teams. I'm saying that as if it is easy to deal with 8 teams, but there's a lot of teams that's surviving towards this 15-minute mark.
Come on, Royal Tigers, get the job done. Calvin on his feet. M1917 in hand. Hadn't gone in for the pickup just yet. And it looks like he is going to give up on Vegas. Royal Tigers hanging on. Akash and Flash. Mayota takes one out.
No.
Royal Tigers out in 7th as DZ hangs on for their dear lives. Delta's Esports eliminated as well. Zeus being shut down by Fabian. Double grenades. Pianito! Crazy Minds just stole those 2 points away off of Zeus. 16 eliminations. Zeus Esports eliminated in 5th. And Crazy Minds have 17 eliminations in hand right now. How insane is this dramatic rise from this squad in the bottom 6?
And I'm asking for 24 for each match, and I think they are going to push it through. We're not even counting the placement point that they have, and they are almost a full squad right here. And most of the teams that we have in this final moment, I believe, it has less than players in here. So this might be a booyah being taken by Crazy Mind, and they are going against a couple of players only from DZ. But you know how it is with DZ; they're not going down that easily.
Holy Lord. Crazy Minds on the run here for the very first booyah of this group stage. Can they pull this off up against DZ Esports, the #1 team on the overall leaderboard right now in terms of performance? Pianito on the flank from the left. Alvaro on the right. Ice grenades tossed out already. Not finding the tag onto Calvin. Vegas opening this up. The grenade does not find. But the Valiant dash hits Vegas and DZ annihilated. Pianito showing everyone what his M590 can do. Crazy Minds with the crazy rise from the bottom 6 looking for the top 18, and they might just be able to pull this off if they can do this again, Neptune.
Dude, this is just insane, and they are deserving the name that they have. They went crazy in that fight. They went crazy in those elimination, and really loving the storyline coming from Crazy Mind. Even Deltas couldn't survive that long, but hopefully they have done enough to get closer, because again, they need a little bit more of leeway, because we're going to introduce later on Group A and B. But with this, if they can do it again on next map, I would assure that it would be tight on that 18th spot.
I tell you, Neptune, they needed 34 points to make their way into the top 18. They just walked away from that lobby, 12 points off of placements. What did they get? 20 points off of eliminations? That was a ridiculous run out of Crazy Minds. And they are now not too far away from making that break into the top 18. But of course, the big question is obviously going to be, what will their fate be like by the end of the day? Because they only get one final opportunity, one final game to pull points to their side before, of course, Stella, Zam Team, and Flash step on to the battlefield to get some points for themselves. These three squads need to pull away literally 0 points in order for them to stand a chance to remain in the knockout stage.
Oh, it's getting tough right now. And again, the focus would be from the 15th to, I would say, the 20th. And the 1920 was occupied by Delta's Esports and Crazy Mind. But I believe with that game alone, Crazy Mind is already closing that. I think they will be an 18. You did mention 12 on the placement. I think around 20. Let's say 20 on elimination. And that's 32 already. That's 2 more points for them to be able to catch up to Flash. And they have 1 more game to play.
They need to get a 40-point a game. Okay, there's just no if, buts, or maybe. They need to ramp it up. This is a game that was decent compared to the next game that they're supposedly going to be pulling off here in the Wonderland in their minds and in mine. Clearly, our minds are just off, man. We are crazy. This is one of the most ridiculous, dramatic runs we have ever seen from a team in the bottom 6. Not only getting into the top 3, but actually walking away with the booyah. This is as good as it gets, my friend.
Right, and I'm really loving and how it closes well. From where Shadow 7 is to where Crazy Mind will be currently placed after this game. Because again, they only need to get to Team Flash, or to go over Team Flash. And we still have 3 teams above them coming from A and B. But the gap between them is not even double digits, 3-4 wins. So they might, if they get 20 plus or 25 points in this next game, then they would catapult themselves probably on the 15, if not 14 spot. But this is who made it work. It's Pianito who played it with those keys. 9 elimination, though 0 headshot. Did manage to land a lot of those damage and 4 assists. Good combination of Oscar, Joseph, Nikita, and J Beams in the front line, and that M590 was on point.
Absolutely. 9 out of 20 eliminations. What? And Vegas just says, sit down, sir. 12 eliminations on the side of Vegas. 4.6k on the damage. 1 headshot, 4 assists. You may have gotten the booyah, but I get the respect, says Vegas.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that is a great shutdown onto head-to-head right now. But they didn't get a booyah, though, so that's one thing that Crazy Mind would be proud of. And that's a clutch booyah coming from them. And there you have it, 20 elimination! 20 elimination coming from Crazy Mind, so that's 22 points out of that game. And with all of those engagement, it brings us to 105 in total elimination just from that Bermuda match.
It was an explosive game. It was as good as these games come, and it was phenomenal to see what Crazy Minds have been able to walk away with. 32 points in the second game. They managed to sneak away 16 points from the previous match, almost got into the top 3. They walked away with 8 points. 8 points is the top 3. They've gotten top 3 now twice in a row. I am mind blown with what Crazy Minds is doing right now out there on the battlefield. Neptune, they need one more. They need a booyah. They need a 40-point game. I know it's crazy. I know it's ridiculous. But I've been asking for ridiculous stuff the whole day since we started. And I seem to be getting them out there on the battlefield.
You know, another thing that's crazy, with only 2 maps, they already beat the record they have on their best day, which is yesterday. So that's 46 from yesterday. Now they had 48 points, and they still have 1 more game to play, though.
Man. But I hope, nobody curses them. I hope our words do not curse them. Let's check out where they sit right now. Crazy Minds, 153 points. Just 2 points behind Flash. What looked bloody impossible when we started this day is now looking very, very possible. But of course, like I said, they need to get the biggest run of their lives in this next lobby in order to stand a chance, because the next 3 games will be played by these teams who are already in the top 18. Stella, Zam, obviously they will have a decent chance of running away. We've seen Flash Esports, we've seen their Booyah, we've seen their capabilities. It is going to be possible to see some decent performance from them as well. So whatever Crazy Minds does right after this needs to navigate and, basically make all of the points that those guys bring in absolutely nothing through their performance, which again is asking beyond too much, Neptune.
Let's see, though. Let's see. I mean, we've asked so far, and so far the team has responded. So, again, even if it's too much, I think they are motivated to get all of those. But now, in terms of Crazy Mind, I want to jump into numbers, but judging from how it worked for the first 2 games, all those numbers are being scratched by Crazy Mind right now. They're throwing out the window. It doesn't matter what they did in the past. What matters is what we're doing right now, and they are doing quite well. So even if Nextera is just an average map for them, I think they'll be able to bring another great game for them and catapult themselves above on that 18 spot and do a clutch play in this leaderboard.
Give me my 40 points, right? Get close enough, and you would have probably done it. Because to expect, these other boys to run away or to catch up with 35 points is actually not a big deal at all, right? For teams like Flash and whatnot. But, that's the best case scenario for Crazy Minds. If they walk away with a 20-pointer, 30-pointer, I don't think it's going to be strong enough. It's going to turn into a dramatic day indeed, but in a very sad way, where we start the day off super hyped with Crazy Minds, just with the explosive start, but it's just not good enough. And this is what really gets to me, Neptune. Teams that can get it done sometimes wait a little bit too long. It's like that tortoise and the hare kind of story.
They sleep and then try to clutch it out towards the end. But the Tortoise has managed to get a lot already. Now, I'm not saying that a lot of teams has been slow. They are fast, though. But they like Crazy Mind could have moved a little bit faster in there. But we still don't know, because they just turned on. In this final day, we might see a few of those. This might be just part of the plan, because this is not the first time we've seen it. Even in Survival Stage, I believe, when they were a different squad, I think they managed to pull off a great escape away from relegation, and now they're trying to continue that in the group stage.
What the hell's up with these guys, man? Trying to get my blood pressure up and all. I'm trying to live a peaceful life, all right? They're just putting unnecessary pressure on me as I anticipate them with another explosive run in this matchup. Can Crazy Minds survive? That's just going to be the question. And I love how they've shifted the conversation from Deltas to them. And they're like, Deltas who? But Delta still has a decent chance as well. Delta's now 13 points away from touching that 18 spot. If Deltas walks away with a 40-pointer, I mean, tough. But if they do, it'll be crazy. It'll be fun. If Crazy Minds can walk away with that, then yeah, man, we've got one hell of a day in front of us. But now, a hell of a start at boxing, Jim. As Zeus and Nova bump into each other. 1-for-1 so far. King can still be picked up here, though. Gaviota, Mini-Uzi, and all of them will go down if Zeus can just keep up this pacing. They're going to be able to pick up King as well. Nova needs to vacate the compound.
And T-Kill on the run, and this is one of the conditions where those at the bottom of the leaderboard will be able to catch up, because if the top dogs is fight against each other, that will be less complication later on. But another scenario would be those at the bottom fighting against each other, and that would be worse for survivability. But Barracks right now up close and personal, Nova would be eliminated in 12, and Deltas might be feeling a little bit more pressured right now. It's Royal Tigers is beating them down, and we didn't expect this to happen to come up from Royal Tigers.
Oh man, timing was just perfect there. Man was broke, find a coin machine, buy a buddy back. He's on discount right now, so it's all good. And Deltas will get to survive this a little bit longer. 13 points away. Man, they just waited too long to wake up in the competition. 1NT up against Shadow 7 on the other hand. Andre Trogon, beautiful Valiant dash, will find the back of the player and takes him out with ease. Sanchez 7 though, does he have the VSK? That's going to be the big question for the sniper of the Shadow 7 squad.
Let's see though, I mean, Shadow 7 can be taken down early. Again, some of the conditions that we've seen so far was Ruthless not ending in the final circle. We have Shadow 7 who's getting beat down most cases, and then Caesar being eliminated early. So that gives more opportunity for either Deltas as well as this team of Crazy Minds to be able to catch up and get a lot of points. But recovery is on point. Again, this is where we see most of the recovery because of the number of defending machines that we have in play, and we have 11 teams remaining after Nova has been eliminated in this fight.
Multiple revives already for Deltas. Zeus up against 90 Spaghetti Esports. Man, what's up with Zeus just bumping into the big boys this time so early on? But this is obviously going to be a big blessing for the rest of them. As long as Zeus can take out the rest of the heavy hitters early on in the game, the underdogs do have a slightly bigger chance to run away with the booyah towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting tough for Zeus right now if they're aiming for that most elimination for today, because they're 10 points behind from none other than Crazy Mind. So the closest to Crazy Mind is Caesar with only 5 points gap to them, and we haven't seen Caesar just yet on the feed. So we might expect a few more from Crazy Mind in terms of elimination.
I mean, imagine Crazy Minds walking away with the bounty of the day for elimination. That would be insane. Tornado Mac 10, easy spray onto DMJ. Could not get away from that compound quickly with the rest of his buddies. Royal Tigers will take over. 5 eliminations for the Royal Tigers, who look like they're not going to be joining us for the rest of the competition after this game.
Yeah, it's getting tough right now, especially those at the bottom, and they're not doing that much. They haven't even reached, they just reached rather 100 points from before or when they ended yesterday's game. So it's getting tough right now, but we're seeing that motivation. Yes, you did mention on the final day that's where the pressure is being felt, but let's see if this is where they pay dividends into getting in those elimination. Cristo receives a headshot, instant breakdown on those HP, but he's still firing back without recovering.
Absolutely, man. And Des is going to be spotted out here. In fact, Sanchez 7 is the one that's spotted out by Des. Sanchez with the VSK should be able to turn things around, but got him. Easy peasy for the guy. Misago is going to be spotted out as well. Beautiful shot from afar. 0-1, making Shadow 7 look like they are nothing with these long range shots.
Yeah, I mean, AC-80, though it has been nerfed, it still packs a punch. Now, 2 players down already for Shadow 7. Recovery or revive can be done, but there you have it. It is DZ managed to eliminate the player from Shadow 7. Well, most of it coming from 0-1 brings them to 5 elimination in this game. 10 teams remaining at this point, and we still have a huge playing field to work with. And some of the teams are being forced against each other, where Royal Tigers elimination leader would be eyed at by INT. But Cone, quick movement right now on that jump. Will he be able to go in for the shot the moment the team gets in?
Yeah, this is 1NT up against Royal Tigers. We did see Count earlier use the Aurora vision with the Coda. That gave him all the vision, but no advantage whatsoever with the timing. And he was the first one to get taken out of the equation. So sometimes even having the right skills can turn against you. As he put himself into a little bit of a pickle there.
Yeah, I do agree, because you're the only one who's seeing that raw vision. It doesn't give you the opportunity for the rest of the squad to follow your lead, unless a Moko has been used as well to add to that, and then you can get the combination of those skills to plan an approach against your opponent. So let's see though, Zeus Esports revive on one of the players, or a couple of players. They're still full squad, but they need to move fast. For Crazy Mind though, they're moving a little bit too fast, but not so much on elimination, and they're being beat down by none other than Royal Tigers.
Mayo, can bring back a double revival here, but he needs to do it quick before he gets taken out of the equation.
Oh, no.
Gonna get
What?
Spotted out here. Did not take advantage. It's gonna get dropped. Oh man, he's gonna lose so much of coins with this move.
Yep,
Still
definitely.
surviving. He's still surviving. Okay. There's a lot of loot, lot of coins.
Yeah, well, it hasn't been gathered just yet. I don't think Royal Tigers has enough space. But Pianito with a 1 revive, though. The discount is already over, but we have a coin machine in here, and that can add up to that 200 that he needs, and the full squad would be back. But how tough would it be if you have Royal Tigers right now who you are leaving behind, and you're the ones at the bottom of this elimination feed or elimination leaderboard in this game?
Imagine Royal Tigers walks away with a 40-pointer. They'll make it to the top 18. That'll be crazy. But,
just rub it to the faces of Crazy Mind, though.
Yeah. Again, I know I'm a man who's asking for too much. A little too much today. Andre, M590. Oh, could not 180 there, but did manage to find Enye first. Emmy King with the Punisher. Countdown on the ground. Fabian's going to be found as well. 90 Spaghetti Esports dismantling 1NT. Brian zipping his way out of there. And it looks like he might just be able to get to a vending machine.
Yeah, well, it looks like it. Hopefully he does have enough coin to do a few more, or it is an opening for him to loot up. And there you go. A full squad revive coming from 1NT. Crazy Mind. Myota once again being taken down. It's getting tougher and tougher, Crazy Mind. Earlier they have a full streak of elimination. Now they're only left with 1 and just a rally of revivals in this fight.
9 more squads to go crazy on, so, you know, you give them some time, man. They just need some time to go into crazy ex-girlfriend mode. Huevito. Everyone's gonna think I've got crazy ex-girlfriends. I don't. It's just a joke.
Now that you say you don't, then they might have been in the current.
Yeah, now I'm sus. Oh no! Thank God my wife's still sleeping, man. Zeus with the 10 eliminations so far. And it looks like they are giving us what I expected out of Crazy Minds.
Yeah, let's see though. I mean, it's getting tough right now. It might be the missed opportunity for Crazy Mind, but you did mention a good point. It's still early. There's still a lot of potential right here. And even those teams from Royal Tigers is taking advantage of those opportunities. Delta's, though, still alive with a full squad, making an unusual quiet approach towards each face of the circle. They might be missing out on elimination right here.
How can they... Ooh, 0-1. Positioning themselves right behind Royal Tigers. That's going to be a big engagement in a bit. Deltas, on the other hand, pressured by DZ. Calvin will be taken out of the equation first. A fantastic turnaround by Farox, who has the cord in hand. Focusing up on that high ground, Alex. Tagged up. But that doesn't get the knock for the squad just yet.
Oh, no.
And here come Royal Tigers. The backstab. Deltas are in trouble.
Yeah, Deltas and as well as DZ might be in trouble right now because Royal Tigers seems to be royally aggressive right here, and position is on point, not really pushing that much. They're forcing Deltas into this fight further in deep into DZ's territory. Now DZ, despite of them losing one of their players, they're still aggressive, and the Akash will be taken down. But Flash and Tornado managed to go in for a knockdown as well, and a quick revive can be done.
Oh, beautiful play by Alex here. Double revival in the thick of action. Still managing to pull that off and barricades himself in. Full recovery for Alex is possible here. Flash is going to go in the CQC, and Lucas punishes from afar. Can Lucas get the job done? Does manage to pull the elimination away. But now Calvin and Lucas going in for revenge play here up against Royal Tigers, who've used this Beautiful opportunity to harvest 3 more elimination points for themselves.
Yeah, Lucas might not have a view of those shots, doesn't have a Riptide Rhythm available on him, but Biggs was just that aggressive that even from a drop, he just went in straight into the enemy's territory. It's Crazy Mind being eliminated, and I don't think they had enough. Last time we saw them, they only have 1 elimination, and that is hopes and the dreams being crushed right now for the team.
Check it out. If they had 1 elimination and they needed 1 more point, they needed 2 points in total, right? They got 1 point off of placement, so that basically means they made it to the top 18. But it also means the other teams, Flash, Zam team, Stella just needs 1 point to just make that nothing, right? So, in fact, Flash just needs 1 point. So this GG, WP, Crazy Minds. What a day it has been for them.
I do agree. But we still have Deltas who are still alive, though we don't have that much elimination coming from them, but they did manage to catch up a little bit. They need, 13 points to be able to make it to that 18th spot. A little bit of leeway to ensure they can get in onto the knockout stage. So the hopes for the bottom is still not over just yet.
Not at all. 90 Piketty keeping an eye on Ruthless. We're looking for the recovery play this game. Delta still hanging on. Akash on the revival. Royal Tigers. Man, the drama still not ended just yet here for the bottom 6. Royal Tigers looking for the 40-pointer maybe.
Oh yeah, I mean they need the 40-pointer because technically they need 39 to equalize with Flash. So 40 would be 1 point lead for them. But again, they're losing players overall. Even the circle will not be favoring most of the teams right here. So they will be forced to go in for the fight a little bit early. And judging from where the next phase of the circle would be, there will be less cover in this fight. So it would be tough for the teams.
Yeah, we need to talk about the recovery from Deltas here as well. Deltas are making a play for the top 18 at the same time. They need 13 points to catch up, but they just fall short just like Crazy Minds. How unfortunate. The drama is definitely here. The hustle from the teams in the bottom 6. We wanted it, we got it, but it's the same old story, man.
Yeah.
Just a little too late.
And what I'm hoping for the team, and hopefully they don't take it against me, is just a 1 or 2 points gap for them to be able to make it under 18. But let's continue on that situation and story later on. Royal Tigers right now dealing with 90 Piketty. 90 Piketty almost being taken down. A couple of players against Enny, and this might be a good run for them, but recovery would be tight. They might be ending in the final circle with only 2 players, and it would be deadly, especially if we still have DZ in this play.
They're pressured by the circle, and he does not have much time at all. But so do the Royal Tigers! As Akash with the final Punisher. 17 eliminations strong. Royal Tigers scrambling to find the circle. Can Akash make it? Yes, he can! Into the circle. Those medkits are working. And now lightning zone time. Somebody out there found the perfect opportunity to torture.
Oh, let's see. I mean, even Zeus is being tortured right now. Carl Sewer from behind. 1 NT will be eliminated. We're down to 5 teams. And pickup has been done. Ruthless eliminated. But Caesar, couple players remaining. Equalized with Royal Tigers, I believe. But Lucas will not let them go. A full squad from DZ. They want to take over this.
Yeah, absolutely. Zeus looking for the recovery play as well, understanding that they have not found a single bounty here for themselves just yet. And they want to change that. Can they get that job done today through this match alone? I think it's fairly impossible.
Well, let's see though. It's getting tough. Calvin goes in for finisher against Muslim. And now we have Zeus against DZ. It's a 3v4 situation, but Zeus does have a compound to work with, but the shift would not be favoring them. And this is just DZ taking advantage of their position right now to make sure that they step out and open. Even the player, or even Lucas, the sniper, would be waiting for them to show up, but the rest of the squad is not giving them any chance to do so. Gaviota will not survive, and DZ gets the booyah in game number 3.
What a play for DZ Esports, finally stepping it up. I mean, they gave a bunch of chances to the underdogs to get those eliminations, get to the final circle, walk away with a booyah. Yeah, they did that. But the final game, they said, you know what? You guys are not doing enough, so let us just sweep this one away. I mean, great play from DZ. Definitely not the most dominant team out there for the day just yet up to that game. But they walked out of that lobby close to 20 points in terms of elimination. So it was a great final run here in the group stage for DZ. And they will remain at the top for a little bit more.
Yeah, I do agree, because they have, despite of them being taken down a little bit early in some of the cases, they have a good leeway against the other teams as well. So I'm really looking forward to how, with this playing of DZ Esports, will they be able to still upset some of the teams who are studying their movements, who are studying their approach in every situation? Because I think DZ haven't shown us enough, and this makes a team like this a little bit more deadlier towards Grand Finals.
I agree with you. I think DZ might just be able to step it up a couple of notches out there. Not just in the finals, I think in the knockout stage in itself, we might just be able to see something different from the squad. But for the day, they obviously are going to be setting a brand new record for the most number of booyahs picked up in the group stage. They've got 5 to their names so far. And of course, GCT Arrow can break that record because they've got 3 games coming up in a little bit. If GCT can walk away with a 2Z, and then they will walk away potentially at the very top of the leaderboard as well. A great big distance between them as well as DZ Esports through these 3 matches. But Neptune, again, the story that we were looking for was in the bottom 6. And we were so close to seeing some miraculous runs here.
Yeah, I mean, very close indeed. It's just unfortunate that it didn't end up as they and we expected. So it's up to the numbers right now on how it's going to work. Will this be enough for them to really make that run, or will they be left out in there still asking? And that's one of the worst situations that you can be in. You can bring the numbers, but even if you waited towards the end, and even the end doesn't give you that much in this fight. So Crazy Mind might be going a little bit more crazy the next time we see them.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think Crazy Minds is a squad that should feel fairly bitter about this experience, mainly because they could have done it so much earlier, right? If the run they had today, if the energy they showed us today was the very first kind of, or was the exact same thing they had shown us from the very start of this group stage, obviously the story would be very different. Maybe not at the top of the table, but definitely not in the bottom 6, right? Zeus, on the other hand, just didn't really need to flex all that too much, although they did try for some crazy eliminations out there. It was only one team that was shining down to the end. That was DZ Esports. And their MVP, the one and only Lucas. We still don't know if this is Lucas High, but he sure as hell is playing like Lucas High. 9 eliminations, 1 assist, 4,785 on the damage, 3 headshots on a full-on world-class sniper build with the Skylar, the Maro, Raphael, as well as the Moko.
Yeah, I mean, there's no Suzy right here. He's just focusing on a snipe, and even position-wise, on that final moment, he still is on that point for his role. But for the head-to-head right now, it's coming from different squads. We have Flash from Royal Tigers, as well as Muslim from Caesar. But you can see elimination is quite equalized, but the damage proves a lot that Caesar has brought in a lot of teams scrambling because they're being shot at.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think Muslim's just one of those snipers to look out for. But Royal Tigers making it to the head-to-head is just so impressive as well, right? Because Royal Tigers just not really a team that you would expect to see very dominant out there on these matches, but they just wanted to show up strong on their final run here, and they definitely did that fairly well. 21 eliminations for the side of DZ Esports out of 105. This was a heavy lobby, Neptune.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, it's quite similar to what we've seen earlier, but we've seen a lot more coming from DZ. I'm not downplaying them right now, but it's because of how the other teams has been aggressive all throughout this game. Even DC felt a little bit more of those pressure when they were in Russtown, I believe. So that's a recovery that they managed to play out and still survive towards the end with the full squad getting that booyah.
Absolutely. I cannot wait to see exactly how the teams stand on the overall leaderboard, but obviously it's going to be a little bit of suspense for us. I'm just wondering if Crazy Minds, Delta, Royal Tigers have managed to break through into the top 18, and if they did, by how many points?
Yeah.
Because you never know, man. Maybe a team won't show up. Maybe somebody gets really lucky in that way. Maybe somebody survives because, you know, the team does show up but manages to pull no points at all from 3 games. I know, quite impossible, but anything can happen, man. If the bottom 6 can show up dead strong today, Neptune, in their final 3 games, anything can happen.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, let's see though if there's a chance where miracles definitely will happen. But we've seen some miraculous play. It just didn't last that long, and hopefully the teams would find that as a good learning experience for the next time. But in bed, we're going to go for a quick break. When we return, a next group will show us some miracles, and let's see if this is where they move further from that 18th spot. So I'm Neptune Garcia, join my brother Masashi AJ. We'll be right back after this break. So don't go away.
Show me who I am, made me who I could become. Raise me from afar while I pick myself apart. All my war is dry. silence, fake or science? What have we begun? I can tear these walls down or rise above them all. Look how far we've come. I'm a survivor, rascal of pariah. How far we've come, you and I, for eternity.
Welcome back, survivors. This is the Free Fire World Series USA 2026 Summer. My name is AJ. I'm the Mustache down here with the one and only Neptune the Gentleman Garcia. You guys are tuning into one of the most exciting regions to watch in the world of Free Fire Esports. And USA is lighting it up. We saw the bottom six. We saw the fight in them, never giving up all the way down to that very final game. Everybody giving their best. I just hope that we can see the best from them next time from the very start so that they don't give me some final second heart attacks, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, it's really getting tight right there, especially with the performers with some of the teams like Crazy Mind. Even Deltas performed quite well. But the only question, though, Royal Tigers as well. Let's not take away from them. But the only question, though, is it enough for them to at least reach the top 18, exceed it if needed, because we still have a few teams that will be playing out of Group A and B in the second half of the day.
Absolutely. They were chasing Flash, they were chasing Zam Team, they were chasing Stellar Esports. And Zam Team, man, these guys, for some reason, they didn't show up yesterday and they missed out 3 matches. They're still in the top 18. That really speaks to how dominant Zam Team is out there with their points. They did kind of move into the danger zone a tad bit, but it's only truly dangerous if the teams in the bottom 6 gave them a run for their money. They looked like they were about to give them a run for their money, but we just haven't seen whether or not those points were good enough. Before the final game, we did take a look at the overall leaderboard and we did acknowledge that, okay, wow, still quite some bit of points here. Crazy Minds, though, only needed 2 points. They could have pulled off a 30-point, 20-point a game to break the top 18, but they literally got just that, 2 points. Unfortunate run for Crazy Minds in that game.
Yeah, I mean, I was really looking forward to some performance, especially in the final moment, but it just was tough for them. Now, let's see, though, and there you have it. We have Crazy Minds who managed to get 55 on the point, equalizing with Flash, but that's them reaching 18 points. They didn't have any leeway. Flash is still going to play in the next few games, and this might be trouble zone for the team once again.
Yeah, man. Crazy Minds literally did just enough to make it into the 18th spot. How crazy is that? That's valiant effort. That's amazing stuff. That's true fire in their spirits. Delta stepped it up as well. Royal Tigers, like you said, stepped it up as well. It just wasn't enough in terms of consistency from the other days. Obviously, stepping up in your final 3 in your 18 games is not really the best way to guarantee a spot in the knockout stage. But such is the competition, man. Yeah. The competition is tough. I mean, the fights out there have been fairly difficult to predict which way it's going to go based on how good a lot of these teams are. And we've got 24 of them to, take a pick from in this group stage. Obviously, some have to go, Neptune.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we already set the expectation from the beginning of the tournament wherein the best of the best will be ending up on to the grand finals. And now we're slimming down on some of those teams. We're not talking about ourselves, but we're trying to do so. But we're slimming down on some of these teams right here who seems like some loose ends can be cut down. So I'm just looking forward to them showing up in the next season because it's getting tougher and tougher right now for every stage that we are in.
So that technically means in the competition, in the group stage so far, only 5 teams have not secured a booyah for them so far. In this next lobby, I'm expecting the teams from Group B to do something because there are 3 teams from Group B who have not achieved a booyah so far. You've got Stellar Esports. Okay, you have got round 1 as well as, okay, never mind, the last team out of the 3, we don't need to talk about them. But 2 of these teams from Group B, round 1 as well as Stellar Esports. I'm looking for something out of these squads, at least in one of these games out here. Give me a booyah, make me a happy man. keep the streak, okay, maybe not a streak anymore, but keep the count of the unique Booyah holders in our group stage at an all-time high.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, one team that we really expect not only the Booyah, but also the top 3 would be round 1. We pointed it out before the beginning of that the first match, wherein they haven't reached the top 3, 0% on the top 3 out of the matches that they have, the 15 games that they played. So this might be a chance for them. I mean, that's the thing though. You name yourself round 1. If you only perform round 1, not even getting a Booyah, that would be tough for you.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the crazy thing. 58 points more than the team in the 18th spot. That's what round 1 needs to qualify for the next stage, for the knockout stage. And, if it was crazy for Crazy Minds, it's even crazier for round 1. Yeah. And obviously, Fisher Tiger, 66 points to the 18th spot. I think it's going to be rough. But are we going to believe? I think we still can believe, right?
Yeah.
If you're not going to make it, fine, you're not going to make it. But at least you can go out with a bang.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, one thing I'm for sure is on the survival stage, those 40 bombers can be brought in by round 1 because again, for each match that they play, for each day of those survival stages, they have to play 6 matches. So for round 1, in first day, they managed to get 86, 87 for second day, cut it in half, and that's 40 plus. For if they can pull that off right now, then that would be a great way for them to really catch up. But that's just for 3 games. So we rarely see even the top dogs manage to pull that off. So it would be tough though, it would be tough. But again, miracles can happen. Miracles do happen. But not everyone would be given an opportunity.
Yeah, man. 58 points to make it to the 18th spot. And they have to hope and pray that the team in the 18th spot picks up no points whatsoever. And obviously, Flash is not that kind of a squad. Flash may pick up some points, but that some points is going to be more than enough to prevent you from taking their spot in the top 18. Yeah. So this is going to be rough for sure for the teams here in the bottom 6. I think it's been pretty much decided already how the overall leaderboard is going to be looking like, as we move on towards the next stage, who's going to get eliminated from the competition. So if we focus then onto the teams that can perhaps dominate at the top, we know GCT Arrow, at one point they had the most number of Booyahs within the group stage. Now DZ is the one that has the record, and GCT Arrow is quite a number of points behind DZ from that number 1 spot. They need to get somewhere around 80 points to overtake them on the number 1 spot. 80 points from 3 games. Sounds impossible, but I think GCT Arrow can do it.
Well, at least if they don't make it to that number 1 spot, at least they can get that elimination leader for the day.
Yeah.
Because DZ has managed to pull off 40 elimination, if I'm not mistaken, out of the 3 games that they play. So 41. I think GCT Arrow, on their best day, day number 6, they managed to get 43 elimination, and that was a clutch against the other teams that played earlier into that game. So into that day. So I'm really looking forward to some of the teams, especially GCT Arrow, to bring that home once again to at least equalize the number of bounties that they can get for one specific match day.
We're about to hop on into this next game. It's Kalahari. It's the place where the snipers will shine once again. Those marksmen will smile quite a little bit, and hopefully we get those big points, because you are right, Neptune. 40 eliminations is the standard right now. Any teams that exceed that stand a good chance to walk away with the bounty of the day.
Well, let's see though, the map that currently has brought in a lot of elimination, and the count of matches that we've seen in this specific map is even less than the other. So I'm expecting that those numbers would pile in, but let's see though on where the teams would be dropping, because the flight path would be just in the south of Santa Catarina, heading into south of Foundation, quite in the middle though. Diagonal is how it's placed, but we are seeing GCT Arrow trying to target teams like Fisher Tigers, and they will be meeting up in confinement.
Uh-oh. Fisher Tiger, you better swim out of here, man. This is about to get messy. And look at GCT Arrow, so smart. Is parking themselves right beside that vending machine. So if anything does go south, recovering will not be impossible at all. Zam team probably going to be preying on Flash. Flash has a great big opportunity here to take the big dogs out of the equation fairly early.
And they're just next to each other on leaderboard right now. Zam team is currently in the 17th, and Flash is on the 18th. Only 4 points in difference. But on the other side, Stellar Esports team that hasn't had any booyahs just yet from that top 18 is now beating them down on Sona teams on the other side as well. But back to Stone Ridge. Battle has been paused for a moment. Sam team might be surviving, but Brian would be taken down with a Vector.
Dina underwatch Mateos with the Vector. And QE is out early. QE is a team that's in already the top 18. Again, nobody is really at risk of losing their spot in the top 18 anymore. This one's just a run now to see who can dominate, who can pull away that bounty for the day. Was on Pew up on top. P90. Oh, great play with the time turner. Chrono saving his life in that situation. Was on Pew has got the hook gun. Timing is all what it's about though, and Casby could not catch him off guard with the MP5, and he gets sprayed down.
Yeah, Fisher Tiger, I mean, it's getting tougher and tougher right now. Though they are one of the teams who did manage to get a booyah out of bottom 6. Seems like the consistency is really off from this team. Celtic, though, speaking of consistency,
man,
definitely is off this time around. Yesterday, I think they were in better shape, but now INV is beating them down. And we are now down to 18 teams already. I think they want to get away from record of the most elimination because they are not giving any chance for revival for those who are receiving a lot of those damage.
Yeah, absolutely, man. INV probably on a big run here. Mia Corp, this is a team that I've been waiting to see more of. They've got one of the most disappointing runs, placement point-wise, on the top 12.
Yeah.
But I think it is intentional, right? The team's just not going all out just yet. Oh, Valiant dash simultaneously. Woo! And that will give Nyx a big advantage, but he gets traded out instantly. Garcia Limas down on the ground. Garcia picked up by Black here. Mag 7 on play. Kappa trying to get away. VSS in hand. Black with the cord. Flanking one to the right. Has got the electrotherapy connected here. Both players trying for Kappa. Mia Corp, is this going to be a game where they get eliminated a tad bit too soon?
Let's see. I mean, Kappa did manage to survive a little bit. They will be left behind by Stellar Esports, and Biblix do have a chance to go for that revival as long as Kappa can distract the rest of Stellar. But Fisher Tiger going against Flash, and there goes the push with Riptide Rhythm. Mateos right now, M590, and 6 elimination already being gathered by Flash. This is just to pull away from the 18th spot, showing that they, even if they were equalized by Crazy Mind, they can still do the work that is needed from the team.
Hasty use of the Valiant dash just to cut the distance, but he was brave enough because he had the electrotherapy connected to him. So no sweat whatsoever in the 2v1. Stella backing away, looking for Biblix at the vending machine. Biblix, I think he was successful on that revival, but that's obviously going to come to a quick end here. And Mia Corp on a deep reset so early in the game.
Yeah, I mean, Kappa did survive hiding out in the tower, and I think Josh Ver was revived just in time. There you have it. We have 2 more players coming from Mia Corp right now, so 2 more opportunity for revive for the rest of the squad. But INV on fire, elimination leaders early as this, similar to what we've seen from yesterday. And I won't be surprised if we see a 20 bomber once again, because they're very proactive this time.
Absolutely. And it looks like who's there to contend for the throne here up against INV? Mia Corp, who is struggling. ZMF, I think INV is just going to stomp this lobby the way they are running at the moment, Neptune.
Yeah, I do agree. I mean, GCT Arrow is one of those who can throw them off. But again, looking at how it has been in the past, GCT Arrow, if they don't need it, they won't bring it against these teams. So unless they're really aiming for that eliminations, but Booyahs would be out of the table right now because they're in a very comfortable position on the leaderboard already.
INV has never scored a Booyah on this Kalahari map. Maybe they want to change it for themselves. GCT Arrow, on the other hand, they know their way around. But of course, we can say the same for Celtic Gaming, but they got taken out so early. Celtic just looking like they didn't want to play. They're just like, because usually, of course, Hugo on those revival sprees have been able to keep the squad in play for quite a bit. GCT Arrow up against round one. Round one, can they get it? Valiant Dash Johan saved. Max 7 doesn't get him away. Colado with the same gun sprays him down. Pinocchio traded out though. This is Doris at his best. Can he get the XM8 to take them out of the equation? Pausy, recovery, double revival. Round one will stay in this lobby for a little longer.
That's the difficulty that round one is facing right now. You can see how well GCT Arrow is working with that isolation, making sure that any exit is cut off, and then a couple of players, or they split up on 2-2, so a couple of players will be dealing with one player at a time. And that is where we see more that round one needs to work with. But Matea's right now going for the push. GCT Arrow feeling the wrath, but it's Flash going down with Pelupio and Trogon together with Hassan. And they need to go for the pick up. They can be a full squad, and Flash right now would be humbled on their rush towards this team.
I mean, Flash thought they could get it done. They just didn't know who the hell was in there. GCT Arrow, easy peasy, just beside the vending machine, dominating Council Hall. But of course, they'll have to move in a little bit. Circle is gonna leave them, and of course, the rotation for the squad, it's not gonna be too far away. But what they will have to worry about is INV, depending on how they make their way towards Bayfront in a bit.
Yeah, let's see though. Here comes some of the teams or players dropping in from Flash. They might be spotted by INV right now. Very, very close. UAV would be under the side. Saskari tries to take a peek, but I think he has been spotted. Binocular is being used against him, and there's a little to no way out for this guy. Shot from Chrono, but respond with M24. Now let's see. Low right now has a good chance, and there goes Palmer being taken down as well. This might be a clutch being pulled off by Flash.
I mean, Saskari is just on point right now. Can he get another one? Riptide Rhythm breaking down the defenses. Palmer taken out. Saskari just whooping butt. Level 3 M24 in hand, and he's out of there.
Saskari was so scary at that point. I guess that's the ideation for the name. I mean, you don't want to mess with me. I'm Saskari because you're scared.
Saskari. Yeah, you are, man. Low. Double revival. Big reset here for the INV squad. They thought they were on the hunt, but they got shot down like ducks.
Oh, Saskari!
Again! One more.
Oh, let's see. I mean, INV would be struggling right now. Saskari was just on point. Another one! This guy! And look at that! 9 elimination already coming from this kid.
Can he get another one here? Low instant pickup coming on through. Saskari, man. A brilliant run from the guy. And Flash is showing a little bit of what they're capable of. And remember, we talked about how Flash is a team that just doesn't wake up unless they really do need to wake up. They only play for the big money. When it comes to the grand finals, then you see them in full action. But I think it's a scary place to be in when you are on the 18th spot. So Scary told everyone exactly what it's like to be in a scary spot. So they're trying to work their way out of it now.
Well, let's see though. I mean, Saskari, I think the first time we're seeing that name. I don't know if it's any change in terms of roster or name change. But for Fisher Tiger, well, they're the ones dealing with a few players of INV. The remaining players of INV after Saskari from Flash has dealt with most of them. 2 elimination already, not really capitalizing on that. Then finally, Saskari will be taken down. It was Belon from GC the Arrow who managed to spot him, so he won't be that Saskari anymore, but he gets revived instantly. And down to 8 teams remaining, and we are slowly heading into the 4th phase.
Yeah, INV trying to take the anger out on someone else, and Fisher Tiger's just that victim. Low just holding on. Ken Fan trying to get away. The sniper of the squad looking for the revival onto the rest of his team members. They take that high ground first. INV already pressured. Oh, Ken Fan with the reposition almost found the Punisher onto Low. Gives that information, and here comes the rush from the rest of the team members. Foxy M590 in hand, just needs to turn one more round here. Just at the vending machine, and Low punishes him. But he will not get past Q-Thai and that MAC-10.
Yeah, pickup can be done right now, and a revive also can be dealt with one of the players. That is Kaz B. But Stellar, still full squad. After they dealt with a few of those, Ultra Airdrop haven't dealt with it. I think they managed to loot it up even without taking down those pillars. But now, for round 1, ZMF would be their target. They have 2 elimination already, Sam King. They need him to recover, otherwise they might be a lost cause. But that pushes ZMF far away, and will they be able to go for the chase? Will they be able to go for revive? INV meets them, and Uziel on the ground. Only Vendas remain, but going solo on this fight might be tough.
Yeah, absolutely tough. But Vendas with the Mag 7 does manage to get the spray down onto Chrono. Gets the elimination. Gets to loot him up as well. Vendas hanging on. Do you have a super med? Yes, you do. 2 seconds away. Palmer having problems with Windows. But he's going to be able to pull that revival on through. INV still hanging on. But in this 1v1, I think Vendas should be able to pull this off. Back in the way for the time being. And the hook gun gets him that high ground. He's got the bird's eye view on Palmer, and he just wants to avoid the engagement for the time being, bringing back Uziel. Brilliant play by Vendas, and now he can go in for the fight.
Oh, let's see though. Mag 7 against a Mag 10 that we've seen. I think there was a pickup that has been done by Palmer, but Palmer is one of those players from INV that has been being taken down quite easily. And there you have it, Vendas. I would say that would be a clutch in this fight. A 3-player that he has managed to put down. But unfortunately, he will be taken down by the zone. No chance for a revive. So let's see if he can be revived by the full squad later on with a vending machine.
Yeah, Vendas with a vending machine play. You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Vendas machine.
Vendas machine, yeah, it belongs to him. Q-Thai got Nate Joshua taken out of the equation. Mia Corp annihilated on their 8th spot. Fisher Tiger yesterday, a brilliant run in terms of survival, finding that final circle. They made it look fairly easy for themselves, waking up in the competition, but just one of those teams that are just waking up a little bit too late. If this was the version we saw from day one, no doubt at all we'd see them in the knockout stage. Flash gearing up for a booyah on this game for sure. And ZMF getting tag teamed by Stella in round 1.
Well, ZMF, who's currently, before this match, is on the 13th spot, so they would be taken down a little bit into that leaderboard. Fisher Tiger, though, with that M79 annihilation against one of the players. And Mateos would be taken down. There's shots coming from Stellar Esports. I'm really loving that Stellar is still chasing for that Booyah just to complete the run that we have on the top 18 of the Booyahs. But Team Flash knows for a fact that they can survive. They will be able to get into next phase of the circle. If they have the hook gun, if they have a better position, and even GCT Arrow is not a full threat.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I think I want a Stellar Booyah, man, because Stella's the only team in the top 18 without a Booyah so far.
Yeah.
So I found my purpose again. I can support another squad. Let's go. Colado, M590, rotating around. Oh, walks into the time turner instead. Smart play by Fisher Tiger, but not enough to stop this madman. Still running those circles. Pelopio back up on his feet, and Colado gets the job done here for the side of GCT Arrow. 19 eliminations as Fisher Tiger is out in 5th.
19 elimination. That is very close to the 41 that they need right now to beat down DZ on that elimination leaderboard. But GCT Arrow needs to go for a revive on what's on. But I don't think they have an opportunity in this area. So they can play with 3 players and just keep their distance from the rest of the squad. But Stellar! Chris 10 takes down Colgado with AC-80. No follow-up can be done though. But Flash is also in play, so there's a lot of contenders on elimination right now, and round 1's the only one with a single player in this mix.
The circle is not with Stella. They'll have to move, and GCT Arrow making it very difficult for them. Kristen might just be spent by this zone. It's definitely going to hurt like a truck, especially when you're really low on that HP. That pickup is absolutely useless. Lima's down on the ground as well. One by one, the players on the side of Stella getting picked off here by GCT Arrow, and their high ground advantage giving them all that they need in this final circle. Massive eliminations.
The dream for the Booyah for Stellar Esports will not happen in this game. They will be eliminated in the fight. Round 1, though, still have Daurus in this battle, but up close and personal without even healing. He jumps in front of the opponent in the view of Pilon. M24 takedown leaves us with 2 teams on a 3v3.
All thanks to the hook guns. GCT Arrow can quickly reposition, but Pilon needs to make sure he takes out the sniper on the side of Flash first, or else, as they use their hook gun to find that quick reposition, he might just be shot out of the air. They do have the Morse, they do have the electrotherapy. Battle ready for sure. As Pilon just keeps the attention, Colado moves down to the lower ground. Backed up by Pelopio. Both players with the M590. Here comes those glue wall melters, but Flash is already quite far away from those defenses. They're just positioning themselves down at the bottom. This could just turn out into a medkit booyah by the end of this circle.
Well, let's see though. I mean, it's been a while since we've seen that, but hopefully we see GCT Arrow manage to get in on top of Flash. But as you can see, I don't think they will be staying in bottom right now. They want to go for a rush, just waiting for that perfect opportunity. Shots on Colado right now, but the healing UAV would help them. But the Scary once again scared with the M24 up close and personal takes that shot against Pelopio, and he's already 11 elimination. He can end it, but unfortunately he got taken down.
No!
But GCT Arrow out. Flash for the Booyah in their first game of last day.
Wow! Don't tell me Flash is aiming for that bounty, man, because this was a big game for them as well. What a phenomenal run this was. Flash was in that 18th spot before we started this match, and there's no doubts whatsoever they're going to be climbing up fairly high after this one game alone, right? Great numbers of eliminations together with that booyah for them. But GCT Arrow definitely aiming for that bounty the way they are running around out there, nephew.
Yeah, I mean, I think for Flash, I think they got a little bit rattled, especially when the Crazy Mind managed to catch up to them, and now they just want to pull away. They don't want to be stuck in 18. They don't want that curse of the 18, because at some point for some teams, it sticks to you, right? 18, very bottom, you didn't work that well, where you have an opportunity on the next stage, it sticks to you. So Flash is trying to pull away from that, and now they are slowly showing up, and hopefully we see the same for the next 2 games.
Absolutely correct. Because they better step it up now. They better warm up before we get to the knockout stage, because at the knockout stage, only the top 12 matter. The bottom 6 at the knockout stage will get eliminated. We are only having 18 teams qualify from here to the knockout stage. So you know how that math works, guys. It was a very interesting approach to this fight from Fisher Tiger, but I was very surprised, pleasantly surprised with how far they got in towards those final few circles, and they definitely got decent placement points. Eliminations, on the other hand, is something Fisher Tiger definitely needs to work on.
I do agree. I mean, Fisher Tiger has been with us from the previous season, I believe, and this is just like one thing that we didn't expect for them, being stuck at the bottom, trying to catch up with most of the teams right here. But again, it brings a little bit more experience, but with the meta shifting, favoring other teams, Fisher Tiger is really struggling on their CQCs, or on those long range rather. You know, CQCs might be on point, but it also leaves some of the players being taken down early, thus they can survive further into that final circle.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And in that battle sequence earlier, Colado, he's just putting on a show. GCT Arrow is pulling away many lives. And Mia Corp, again, it's just a team that's just, you know, putting up lots of question marks in the air, right? Because if the other regions are checking out what USA has got to bring to the table for the Esports World Cup in Paris this year, Mia Corp's just really not giving away any info whatsoever. That could be a really good thing, or it could be a really, really bad thing. For them or for the others, I have no idea. So I'm just in suspense.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's an element of surprise that we might see coming from Mia Corp right here. They're seeing a lot of reference that they can use as well on that EWC stage, because there's some teams like GCT Arrow, even DC Esports, UC Esports, so a Cartel Sur. So there's a lot of tactics that they can pull from, because there's really little chance of them being taken down in the group stages at this point. But let's head over to the MVP, and definitely a scary, guys, scary or if we're saying it correctly, but that's 12 elimination, 4 headshots, 6K on a damage, and this is rare that we see a 6K damage coming from a guy.
Amen, brother. You can say that again. And this guy, even with the post, he's telling you, I am the #1 sniper. This is what I'm here for. And he dominated, man. The numbers look great. The active-passive combination looks great. And we talked about prioritization. We talked about specialization. That's exactly what Saskari is doing. The active and passive skills and the gun that he's using, it's all on the meta. In the head-to-head up against GCT Arrow's Collado, although Collado was playing a damn good game, he could not keep up with what Saskari did in this matchup. On every single stat here, except the assist, you have Saskari taking the upper hand.
Yeah, I mean, still, Saskari was so scary in that fight. Even the CQC in the final moment, we didn't expect him to use that kind of trick. But it did work for them. But they're still being beaten right here in terms of elimination. It's GCT Arrow with 23 massive ones. And even our total elimination didn't reach 100. Well, we are counting down one team who didn't join us, so we only have 11 teams in this mix. Thus, elimination in comparison for the first group would be different.
GCT Arrow definitely bagged the whole lobby. Great numbers if you're looking at eliminations, and they've already gotten 23, and you did point out a number earlier, Neptune, and that was 40. That's how many eliminations DZ Esports managed to get for themselves through 3 games. So if GCT Arrow keeps this up just for one more game, not even 2, one more game, you're going to walk away with that bounty. But INV is hot on their tails as well. They are not looking to let go of this one easy. All of a sudden, Flash has thrown their name into the fight for the bounty as well. So I'm liking this 3-way battle between these squads, looking for that extra bit of money by the end of the day.
Exactly. I mean, money is a motivation, a good motivation. But let's see, though, if that would show up on the leaderboard as well. Because the number is one thing that they want to see move up, especially from Flash. Again, I think with what Crazy Mind has done already, they're in a safe zone. I don't think there's really a need for them to move up, but they just want to practice a few more things. And this is working. For Flash right now, from 18, they move up to the 14, and with another game, they might be able to get into the first page of our leaderboard.
Yeah, and Crazy Mind's already in the 19th spot, so they do not make it to tomorrow. Unfortunate for the squad. Zam Team, QE, very close down to the bottom, but there's just no way in hell they lose their spot in the top 18 unless round 1, through some miraculous, insane plays, get more than, what, 65 points than Zam Team in the next 2 games, which is asking for a little bit too much, But, great run so far from the teams in the bottom 6, Neptune. I think they've all given us a lot to talk about. You talk about Crazy Minds, Deltas, Royal Tiger, Round 1, Fisher Tiger, all of these squads. Great on those plays, just not consistent enough to make it into the knockout stage.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, those are the points that they need to carry over when or if they will be joining us on the next season. But again, I'm just really loving that this is an opportunity, even if there's no there's no changes in terms of who's getting into the knockout stage. It's an opportunity for the rest of the squad right here from Group A and B to do some practice runs with their tactics. They can do different approaches this time around, especially if now that they are safe. And Flash is one of those that changes their pattern quite oftenly. Thus, they were pushed down the bottom, but now I think it's a better version of Flash right now.
Absolutely. And obviously, if you're looking to be serious in the competition, you got to get yourself a analyst, you got to get yourself a coach, and you just have to focus on building chemistry, working on the mechanical skills. Leave the thinking to someone else, leave the doing to yourselves out there on the battlefield. That's one of the best things. Of course, if one of your players can be the coach or the analyst, which is a tad bit tough to do so many things at the same time, then good on you. But if not, man, I think these teams definitely need a little bit of better guidance out there, Neptune. It's not easy to dominate. It's not easy to keep up with the meta, especially when you've got OB updates coming through quite often within the year. In the past, maybe you could have just taken advantage with just one setup for the whole year. Now you just need to be on your toes and really watch the movements of all of the changes within the game. And some of them have shown us that they've been keeping an eye on this.
Yeah, I do agree, and this is what they really need. Amiya Corp is one because in a few months, I think it's around 1 month. They will be meeting up with a lot of those coming from different side of the globe.
Oh, yeah.
Where in different meta is a pressure. Different updates that will be coming in before that happen would be another pressure for them.
Yep.
So if they do have an analyst, they do have a coach on their side, even the IGL will just be focusing on leading the squad. And we've seen that in most cases, even in some of the region, if you're the IGL, there's still a lot of pressure coming from you. Thus, you're not performing that well.
Yeah.
Because like your attention is being split up into performing and leading the squad. And we've seen some of the changes being done by like AG Global, for instance.
Yeah.
Once they had someone who's leading them on the background, like an analyst and a coach, and then a better frontliners, then they were a better team overall.
Yeah.
Overall.
I mean, no doubt at all, man. In-game leader, that's what IGL is for any of you guys who are new and wanting to make yourselves into one of these superstars that we have out here on the battlefield.
Yeah.
I think the progression from one competition into another is becoming a little solid here in the USA routine, because we have got so many competitions within the year itself, right? I believe we have got spring, and then summer, and then fall, and then winter. You've got every season. You're going to have a competition. So there's more than enough. There's more than ample space for everybody to step on, perform, earn some good money, and then, of course, find your qualifiers into the bigger tournaments that we've got within the year itself. For the first time, the USA will be attending Esports World Cup later on.
Yeah.
I assume the Global Finals is going to be part of the equation as well. Obviously, if it's happening already, why would it stop? Unless some great disasters happen. So fingers crossed, nothing of the sort comes to play. But in the grand scheme of things, man, big things are waiting for players who take fate into their own hands, Nephew.
I do agree. I mean, it's just a good time to be in Free Fire Esports because of a lot of things happening, a lot of regions opening up the doors, a lot of things that you can learn from other regions as well.
Yes.
That's the importance of trying, keeping your eye on other regions, because we keep talking about the meta. Yes, you will be the best in your region if you have if you've adjusted quite well in that specific area. But if you want to be the best all across the globe and the whole world in Free Fire, then you need to watch out on what is the best thing that is being done in other regions, especially the champions of the Global Finals and EWC.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We do apologize for the very long wait, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We've got a couple of technical issues with the players that we're trying to sort out in the background. So do bear with us. We are definitely excited to start this next match. Although the consequences of these next two games are definitely not going to be there for any of the teams who are participating in the lobby in a little bit. Of course, granted, round one already knows their fate is sealed. We are still looking for who can be the top predator. We're still looking for the ones that are going to be getting the bounty on the most damage within the competition. Because, Nephew, that's a big part of the run here in the group stage as well. At the end of the group stage, we will check out exactly who has been dominating out there. But we're getting a little bit of an information here from our production team that a team might not be joining us for this next game, and that team could be GCT Arrow. This is a big loss for the squad, because if they are going for the bounty of the day and they just walked away with 23 eliminations, this is going to reduce their chances. Like I said, if they can already do 23 on one game, maybe they can do it. But the best place to do it is this next map, where they already have 2 booyahs to their name, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what side the Asian is coming from the team right now. GCT Arrow isn't a good run already. In 2 games, they will be able to get that bounty. And it's a good chance as well to increase the damage as well, because there's also the 250 after this group stage that the team can get if they manage to get the most damage all throughout the group stage. So it's just missed opportunity for them, but again, it is what it is right now. The team has already done so much to get into knockout stage, but I don't think we'll be waiting any longer. GC Arrow will not be might not be part of this mix, and now we are going to start our Bermuda game.
Oh man, if you're already jumping into the match, then it is confirmed GCT Arrow will not be out there harvesting these lives. Maybe that's the luck round one needs. Maybe round one's gonna dominate this lobby. Who knows, man? Round 1 needs 50 points to catch up to the 18th spot. And the one in the 18th spot is Zam Team. And Zam Team will be playing in this lobby. So let's see exactly what happens as we have a very fair flight path heading into Bermuda.
Yeah, flight path would be coming from this shipyard heading into Sentosa, or rather graveyard into Sentosa, and the team has a good chance of dropping. I don't think anyone would be heading into the shipyard just yet, because that's where most of the early engagement has been happening. And with the new groupings that we have, it would be tough to be taken down early, but Observatory would be a different story. The same goes with Bimasakti Strip. Q is one of the team who was eliminated early in the previous map, and now they're still going through battle, this time against MiaCorp and round 1.
Well, QE losing Pulgita early, but up against round 1, this should be fairly easy fight. Flaking is just going beast mode right now, up against the rest of the players on the side of Flash. Fisher Tiger versus Flash. Looking like Flash might just be able to win this encounter. Round 1 up against QE. On the other hand, is going to face some interference. MiaCorp showing up, and MiaCorp will show up strong all the time.
Yeah, let's see now. 2 elimination already. They can chase down one of the players, Johan! And even if close up personal with that cord, he didn't stand a chance. But let's see Zombie King from round 1 though, with the rest of the squad being pushed in from behind. And Josh Burr with a double vector. Didn't even spot on Zombie King. But here comes another challenger. Kappa goes down! Round 1 winning their fights.
Oh, round 1, especially up against MiaCorp. Brother, this is a problem if the team that's going to EWC cannot shut down the spirits of a team that's not even going to make the qualifier into the knockout stage. We've got a big problem. I do think MiaCorp is just hiding away their strats, but I'm a tad bit worried. But of course, it's still too early to say if this is the final version of MiaCorp, because we haven't even gotten into the knockout. We know they are a different kind of beast on the grand finals day.
I do agree. I mean, we still have 2 more stages, grand finals included, after the group stage. So let's see though if that would change for MiaCorp. For Stellar though, the change that we're expecting from them, in spite of them already part of the top 18, is that Booyah. And to complete the run of the top 18, that has the Booyah. But Zam Team, a team who slept the whole day yesterday. Let's see if they have awoken already. But INV, a team that was awoken in earlier games, they are back in play, trying to steal those elimination away from GC Arrow.
Absolutely. Flash earlier on, a 30-point a game for them to climb the leaderboard. 18 eliminations strong. And remember, we said Flash was a team that only plays when they really need to play. They determined that, okay, today's the day where they need to play. And it looks like they haven't taken their foot off the gas pedal just yet. I was expecting them to only show up strong in the grand finals. But we get a treat for ourselves here. INV, Palmer, managing to get away. With just a tad bit of health left on him, and the whole INV squad will be able to avoid engagement with Flash for a little bit. But they need to scramble to look for defenses, or the pursuit by Flash could just have them caught out in the open grounds. Medina sprayed down. Celtic on the hunt as they go after Zam.
Well, let's see though, Zam Team. And it is Fury in a Car 98 up close and personal. We rarely see that happen. Most of the time he does have the M590. But this pushes Zam Team to go for cover. And Fury will be taken out as well. This is MiaCorp knocking on their doors. Let's see if they will be the ones who would dominate this 3-way fight.
Well, Zam Team is making some miracle work here. MiaCorp showing up, and Biblix just annihilates the squad. MiaCorp up by 9 eliminations, led by Kappa and Biblix, who have 4 eliminations each.
Yeah, and they just annihilated 2 teams who's fighting against each other. So you were starting to question MiaCorp, and this might be their answer. There's a response to that. Round 1 though. Well, it's a 1v1 situation against QE. Let's see if Wuzi will be taken down right now, or revive. Not enough coins to do so, but he can reel him in, probably shut him down. But Almir knows the plan. There goes the shot. The glue wall's in play, and a couple of players ends round 1. Now we are down to 17.
Round 1 only have 1 more round left in the competition before they get shown the door. INV up against Stella. Stella, the only team in the top 18 who has not secured a booyah here for themselves. They gotta make something happen. Paletoso missing a big opportunity there with the headshot. His opponent wasn't moving, and Kristen will take that warning to heart and back away. But Paletoso does find Garcia though. No spray down follow-up coming through from the rest of the players as Stellar quickly recovers.
Yeah, this is a good position for Stellar Gaming right now. I mean, they can move, they can push in towards the Mesa Peak, and that would give them a little bit of cover. But INV slowly moving in the two-man push. But it's a good thing that God Nade coming from Garcia managed to knock them down. Ice Grenade as well to confirm that the pickup can be done onto Limas. But there goes Palmer being taken down. Even Stellar is being gunned down quite well. Barricaded blue walls, making sure that they are full squad. And hopefully they can recover, because here comes another set of team to go for the fight.
Yeah, this is GG for Stellar. If they can't get away, they need a launcher to quickly reposition out there on the battlefield as ZMF takes position right behind them. Flash up against QE, looking for the finisher. Reyes is going to get caught out here. Saskari. Oops, timing's just not on the side of Saskari there for that elimination. M24 in hand. 1 horsepower found. And Mateos is in trouble.
Let's see, though. Mateos would be taken down. Now, let's see as MiaCorp tries to get away from this engagement. Again, they tried to jump into peak, and now they might catch Mateos off guard. Nyx managed to spot him. The glue wall saves Mateos. Gets into the other side. A ring around the Rosie. And ZMF right now, Vendas would be taken down by Biblix. And that is the trouble. That is a risk if you split up against a team that's always group up like MiaCorp.
Yeah, this is the MiaCorp USA champions we know, man. This is that bounce back that we're looking for. Kappa and Biblix just putting on the numbers, and INV punished for wanting to pick on other players earlier on. They thought that it was going to be a easy shutdown onto Stellar. Stellar turning that situation around, putting them in a pickle, and finally eliminated from this lobby is INV. MiaCorp, on the other hand, 12 eliminations, strong Stellar. 2 players down. Josh Ware, God Nades will annihilate Stellar and their opportunity, their chances for survival really thinning down. Josh Ware looking to end it right here with this next play.
Oh, definitely ended Stellar Esports. It's just unfortunate. Garcia moving like a Garcia, and I'm referring to myself, always being taken down a little bit early. Thus, the front line is not that strong. Now, here comes Flash trying to challenge MiaCorp. Riptide ridden on them. Will they be taken down? The Sky's the first one to go down. It's Biblix from the rooftop like Santa Claus in Christmas.
Man, this Santa is not friendly. He's sending them gifts of bullets. He's a nasty Santa. Biblix, Car 98 in hand. All the players on the side Flash marked up already. They've got full information being given to MiaCorp. Thanks to the lightning zone. Brilliant play coming on through. Now Saskari up in front. Looking to see if or not he can take Biblix out of the equation. Saskari, sharp shot. Kappa down on the ground. And that's going to be a big punisher for Mia.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Kappa was just revived. Biblix is still nowhere to be seen, but they watch that glue wall, and once that expires, they might be taking him down. But they're focusing now. They're switching their attention to ZMF, and Michael will not be surviving, even with a time turner. Couple of players from Flash shooting them down, and they're still stacking up on the numbers.
Oh, it looks like Kappa managed to come back through that revival this time round, as Saskari was just a little distracted up against the ZMF players who were making their rotation. MiaCorp's going to get scanned out. Actually, that's MiaCorp's UAV. It's looking for the scan, just spotting their back here in case any other ZMF players makes that rotation, but they steer clear. Oh, Sasuke, oh man, ducks away at the very right moment. Reyes did not get that knock thanks to that movement. How blessed he is.
He's playing Duck Goose at that point. Now, that would be trouble zone for QE. Reyes Stell's bites, tries to get away, and Reyes is a good ideation right now. He goes for that zip line, make sure that they have a fighting chance of revive, and with a god as M79 coming from Flank King, they managed to beat down most of QE.
Man, what a play by Flash. Like I said, the team does not wake up unless they want to wake up, and they said, today we must play. Flash on a phenomenal run. 2 games in a row. They have whooped good butt. 18 eliminations in the previous match. Now they stand a decent chance to exceed even that 18. QE probably helping them out, bringing those revivals back. Now like shooting ducks out of the sky. Should be able to make something work here. Kevin with the revenge. Nick's knocked down to the ground. ZMF in a battle up against Miacorp.
Oh, let's see though. Biblix right now in trouble zone, eating him up. Needs to use that Munch truck to get into next phase's circle. And the pickup onto Nyx has been done already. So Kevin would be the one on guard right now. But up close and personal, Saskari trying to beat down on Reyes. Riptide Rhythm to break down those glue walls. And Reyes right now almost being taken down. 1v2 situation. This is a good move as Saskari can go for this clutch. No help needed. But finally being taken down by skill. It's a cryo mine, and QE wins this fight.
Damn, man, Saskari just got that 1v1 with the M24. Just a tad bit unfortunate as he got hit by the cryo mine. QE on recovery, 7 eliminations, but they're taking heavy damage outside the circle. Looking for the late rotation in. ZMF outside the circle as well. These 2 teams with the late rotations. Inside the circle, surprisingly, is Fisher Tiger.
Yeah, Fisher Tiger. Not so much of elimination coming from them, but survivability is on point. Doesn't have a cover though. A little bit of a questionable rotation coming from the squad, and now they are on the hit list. Now, are they the ones to trigger a hit list, I believe? So let's see if they will be chasing down on Flash. But Miacorp just waiting for the perfect opportunity, as well as the closing of his 3rd phase's circle before they head into the 4th.
Wow, that is a big revive for Flash. None of their players got shot out of the air. They're all back down on the ground, but can they get the loot before ZMF crashes their party? ZMF is taking heavy damage from the zone as they rotate in. So this is a big advantage for Flash, but of course it's all dependent on if or not they can get the right loot. Saskari with just a Mac 10 picked up off of the ground. Punishes vendors. ZMF in trouble as they bump into Flash.
Let's see, Miacorp right now would have a clear view of Fisher Tiger if they get to that rooftop. But Flash back in play. Maku will be taking down Mateos with that SKS. And Flash is still continuing in that push, but the revive cannot be done. A few seconds remaining. Uziel will be knocked down. I believe with CMF, there's only Kevin once again home alone, or just alone without a home.
And just like that, Flash are back up on the 18 eliminations, equalizing what they brought into the previous match. Can they now go for a back-to-back booyah as well? We do have some monsters still alive on this map. ZMF and Miacorp could ruin the chances of Flash walking away with a back-to-back here. But okay, I take that back. ZMF, Kevin, he's home alone.
Well, let's see though. Miacorp jumps in onto Kyutai. This might be trouble for Fisher Tiger. Again, they didn't invest that much on elimination, and now they are the ones being eliminated. Lightning Zone triggered. Just make sure that Miacorp doesn't rush in, but it doesn't face them at all. Tapado on the ground. Limited distraction. Here comes the rest of the squad. And with a Charge Buster, Casa B managed to bring them down. Now in a 1v1. Will this be a little bit too late from both squad? It's a final fight for this 2 team. Biblix right now trying to go for a clutch, but the zone's closing in. He triggers a stealth bite. He's on the run.
Yeah, absolutely. The Valiant Dash used up already. Miacorp annihilated Reyes, a shot from afar, which means Flash, the opportunity to go for a back-to-back booyah. So much higher now. QE, the only contender up against Flash, but it's a fair 4v4 fight.
Yep. 4v4, let's see, high ground vantage, and still Skaskari is in play. So this is the deadly part against QE, and let's see if QE can find a better angle to take Pulgita, Almir, or a couple of Almirs, as well as Reyes, who pulls out in the best position. Needs to be careful though, because the moment he shows up, the moment he gets heard, Saskari might shoot him down without any exception.
If Reyes had brought in the Skylar this could have been such a different fight. Just that double Riptide Rhythm could break down the defenses of Flash instantly, and QE would have a field day out there. Saskari needs to take Reyes out of the equation. He needs to reposition. The circle at the moment is on the side of Flash. They do have extra wiggle room here, and the next zone is going to take a few seconds before it shows up. Mateos, great rotation. And Flash making use of that extra bit of space very well. Saskari is going to be spotted out by Reyes. Reyes has got the Morse for the reposition. And Flash now going in for the attack. They know that this is that moment. Mateos has got that valiant dash. Opportunity, timing on their side. Flaking gets the knockdown onto Pulgita. He does manage to pull one back. And Almir with the Mac 10 holding on for his dear life. Will be hunted down. Mateos can't find the flank just yet.
Oh, let's see, though. Almir needs to go for the pickup or recovery, but it is now left on 2v2. Reyes a good angle to take advantage of that high ground, but Almir trying to do this two things at the same time. Now we have a 3v1 situation, and it is Saskari. Let's see if he can clutch this. No! It's QE who managed to get that booyah against Flash.
Booyah against Flash indeed. What a run for QE. Earlier on, the run was not as impressive. They only walked away with a single point from that first lobby. And this one with a booyah is a big, big recovery for QE. But if you look at Flash, the consistency is mind-blowing for a team that barely showed up. But I really like Team Flash, right? Because it's that big money team. They only play when the stakes are high, and when they step it up, man, the consistency is showing us that they might be able to make it away with the bounty.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I mean, Flash is just one of those phenomenal teams. Even from the previous season when we first saw them, they were aggressive overall.
Yes.
But now they toned down a little bit. They know that the lobby is filled with a lot of Titans, and they don't want to show up those tactics quite early. They still have a knockout stage, they still have a grand finals to deal with. But with this showing of pulling away from the 18th spot, this just gives a few more of those surprises that might throw those at the bottom 18, say 13 to 18, a little bit off guard because they're not expecting that the top dog will be at the bottom 18.
Yeah, absolutely. Round one had a little bit of a rough encounter with Miacorp at the very start in itself. They were successful in a couple of those engagements, but just couldn't find the finisher down towards the very end when it comes to surviving all of the other squads, right? But they did kind of make it fairly deep in after that encounter with Miacorp, both teams walking away from each other. But QE was on the most impressive recovery game. They had many close encounters, and they did manage to step it up in terms of just avoiding a lot more of those engagements. And because we don't have two teams in here, I guess it's a little bit easier to avoid.
Yeah, well, I'm really loving how these teams are showing up this time around. Again, there's no pressure, thus they are not rattled at all. All they have to do is work with, just enjoy the game. Just enjoy the game, show up on how they did in survival stage, if they were part of survival stage. But I'm really loving that. Hopefully they can bring this on to knockout stage, this kind of energy, this kind of tenacity that they're bringing in this final day of the group stage.
And just like that, Flash is just 1 point away from outperforming DZ. How crazy is that? I think they're one elimination away from 40 eliminations as well, right? Because we saw them walk away with 18 eliminations in Kalahari, 21 eliminations in Bermuda. Neptune, amazing stuff from them. There's one now shot. You know what's the craziest thing? If Flash does not show up for the final lobby.
It's not the first time that we see that. Like, teams that we expect would be showing up would be taken down a little bit early, but that would be disappointing for Flash. It's a good recovery, a good addition to the price that they will be getting, though we'll still have to see on what more can be brought in. But for Quisqueya, they kiss Flash goodbye from that final circle, and they have their MVP, one of the Almirs that we have into this mix. 5 elimination, 3 headshot, 3 assists, 2256 in the damage, and the build is just ridiculous.
I don't know. This is a support player who is supporting with the Riptide Rhythm. Very rare. Very rare. But clearly he was looking to pull this off. He did fairly well. I don't know how he did it, but Flaking he shows up a little bit stronger on the eliminations. This is the head-to-head up against Biblix, one of the better snipers out there on the battlefield for sure. But in the elimination count this time around, he does not take the dub. He does for the damage on the other hand. Assists as well as headshots. Flaking is just stepping it up. One of the best frontliners that we have within the USA.
Yeah, I mean, one of the guy who managed to eliminate a squad with an M79 as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's rare. Now we see Nade's elimination coming from the USA, so he's just like starting the trend. And hopefully we see more of that in knockout stage as well as the grand finals. But for Flash right now, you were right, 21 elimination coming to the squad, and that's like the most that we have in here in terms of elimination, because a lot of teams has been eliminated early, and also there's one team that's not part of this mix, or two teams that's not part of this mix, so it makes it even difficult to catch up in numbers.
Absolutely. So of course GCT Arrow, we saw a phenomenal run from them earlier. They did get more than 21 eliminations in their match. They got a total of 23 eliminations, and then they missed the game. I don't know why. I don't know how, but they missed Bermuda, and now they've got Purgatory. And if they want to go all out on Purgatory, yes, that's possible. If they want to get another 23-pointer, yes, it's possible. But they need to put a full stop to Flash's run very early in the game. Because like I said, Flash was literally one elimination away from DZ Esports and 2 eliminations away from getting the #1 Predator spot for the day. And the only one that can potentially stop them now is GCT Arrow.
Let's see though. I mean, it's getting tougher, but if GCT Arrow can pull it off, eliminate, the condition would be eliminate Flash and then get like 20 on elimination. Yes, they will be able to do so. Take a look at the overall standings right now. 7 teams moving up, and Flash, well, it's only a few points, a couple of points, 3 points to be exact, to be able to get onto the first page, take down 1NT, but they still have one game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Of course, bottom 6, unfortunate. We're not going to see much movements there anymore. Round 1 is just way too far away from the 18th spot, and we've got only one more game to go. Safe to say, it is impossible to see anyone from the bottom 6 make their break into the top 18, unless, of course, we see some teams get disqualified for whatsoever reasons, which fingers crossed we don't see.
Hopefully not.
Purgatory is going to be the final game of the day. Who walks away with the top Predator spot? Who walks away with the bounty? That's definitely going to be the big question. And then, of course, we get to celebrate a little bit, praising the top 18 teams who have made it into the knockout stage.
Out of the group in A and B, there's 3 teams who managed to get a Booyah in here. We have INB, we have a ZMF, as well as QE. So this might be potentially a back-to-back from QE. A good chance for them as well to catch up on those race to elimination. But judging from the first game that they had, they didn't bring in that much. Like just 1 elimination out of that, and then 13. So it's a long race. It's a tight race, but if they can pull it off this time around, another Booyah plus decent amount of elimination, beat down the top dogs within that race, then that would secure them that additional 375.
This next map is literally one of the worst maps possible for Flash, right?
Oh, I heard.
Yeah, it's one of the worst maps for Flash. But at the end of the day, they have really shown us that this is a team that has just been sleeping on purpose, right? They have not been stepping it up. They know there's no point to go all out. You know, these small fries can't touch them. That's what Flash thinks. And clearly they're proving that out there on the battlefield as well. But the stats just are not on their side to perform well on this map. But I do have a sneaky suspicion that they have not performed on purpose. And we need to see them go ham. In fact, they actually don't need to do much. They just need to walk away with 10 eliminations, 15 to guarantee themselves the top Predator spot, unless GCT Arrow really goes for a super hot drop on them and takes them out early, man.
Well, let's see though. I mean, this is a map, despite of being played less compared to the others, similar to Kalahari, this is where a lot of damage has been dealt. It's a survivability that's being done by the teams right here, and we might see some of the games wherein this is where some teams might end up with 10 in the final match. But another update coming from Mission Control. I don't think we will have any round 1 in round 6 right now. So it's getting tough. They have no chance of getting in the top 18. So unfortunately, their spirits was just not up to it.
Absolutely. Unfortunate though, round 1, if you do not make it into this lobby, it's unfortunate because we want to see fighters, right? And fighters fight all the way down to the bitter end, regardless of whatever the results are going to be. And, you know, I personally enjoy shouting out teams that have no way of making it into the next stage, but puts on a damn good show for their final run, just to show everyone that they're serious and they'll be making a big comeback in the following season. I think teams like Flash definitely, you know, had moments like that out there in the competition. We have seen, you know, Shadow 7 have moments like that in the competition before as well. And hopefully we'll see more of these teams step it up. But of course, in terms of finding the teams for the knockout stage, that's still not done just yet. Neptune, the creme de la creme, is always that beautiful number 12. So the knockout stage will have the same kind of suspense, the same kind of drama as well. We're gearing up towards this next game. For sure, we are looking for one team to step it up big time. That's Fisher Tiger. They've got one booyah so far. They are one of 2 teams in the bottom 6 who have got a booyah to their name, but no way of making it into the knockout stage.
But again, you're seeing the fighting spirit coming from them. I mean, we've seen that earlier in Royal Tigers. We've seen that from Crazy Mind, but Crazy Mind has a little bit of crazy intent at that point. They really are trying to clutch that 18th spot, but it didn't work out. But Royal Tigers, Delta's Esports, and Fisher Tiger this time around. Same story from the previous season, and this is just the energy that we want to have. Even if you're not reaching the next stage, if you're not reaching even the grand finals, knockout stage, or whatever stage that you want to reach, you're still bringing in the fire. You're still bringing in the fight. And this just makes us even love the team even more.
Yeah, absolutely. But we understand how you feel. Obviously, you know, you're going to be disappointed if you've been playing the competition so far and you're trying your best. You're doing everything possible. Every single strategy executed out there doesn't seem to be going your way. Obviously, you're going to be pissed. Obviously, you're going to be that bit disappointed. But, you know, sometimes it's good to keep all of that rage as motivation to just do a little bit better the next time you step back in here. We are having to remake this lobby, ladies and gentlemen, so do bear with us. We can be starting this final battle in a little bit. If you look at the setup of the top 18 right now, Neptune, I think we're going to have one damn good knockout stage because obviously we're going to reset the table. Everybody's back to 0 and there's just nothing. I mean, you look at teams who are currently from the 13th spot down to the 18th. You've got Flash, you've got ZMF, you've got QE, Stella, Shadow 7, Zam Team. Any one of them can have a damn good run in the competition, especially QE. 3 booyahs. This is a team that's really flying under the radar right now, but very capable when it comes to looking for that final circle.
I do agree. I mean, they can go for that fight. They can go for survivability. And one of the teams who really use those launch pads to get in position, whether it's on an entry or an exit strategy. And QE does have a good set of players on them, especially the sniper side. So I'm really loving the QE has taken those booyahs. It's necessary on the grand finals, but it might be risky if you still play the same from the group stage into knockout stage, because if you're still ending up at the bottom of the 18, then definitely there is a problem. There is a problem that needs to be fixed, and the next stage would require us to get 12 teams for the grand finals.
Honestly, you know, we've seen many lobbies where some teams just barely have any eliminations. They're just sneaking around, looking for the final circle. I know you'll be able to come up with many examples of squads who have done this just within this particular region itself. And that has always proven to be the better strategy, right? If you survive, if you just purely play survival and then try to pull a few lucky steals from the other teams in close towards the final circle, literally go in for those late fights where you fully looted up, you've got the coins, you've got the guns, you've got the defense, you've got that ultra. Okay, maybe not the ultra aggro because you're probably going to get caught by another squad. But you just get everything that you can get to your side to get you a bigger advantage. Get to your side. I think we can definitely guarantee seeing you in the knockout stage, if not the grand finals, right? But we've got so many of these teams who can't really, sharpen their fights just yet, going in for these wild battles, like Crazy Minds yesterday. They were throwing themselves at their opponents. If they had just chilled a tad bit, I think a very big difference could have been made by Crazy Minds yesterday to climb the leaderboard in a more consistent way. Because today was a really good day for them. And even one game in, you see Zam team is not too far away from Crazy Minds, just 7 points away.
Yeah, and that's one thing though. I mean, Crazy Mind just like we're just aggressive in elimination. We know we can bring that in. It's just that survivability. So I do agree. If they manage to pull that off from yesterday, similar to what they're trying to attempt for today, then that would be a better story because they will make it in the top 18.
Yeah.
It was a good story, a good hero's journey for Crazy Mind, but it's just fell a little short, and that's that risk really that is involved. And again, with that 1 point needed, I think it's a good learning experience as well for Crazy Mind because if you miss out on 1 point, you would start to question if I did great in one day, in one match, or in just 1 week. We could have been there already. We've experienced it. I managed to coach a team who experienced that, and that's the only lesson that I want them to take in. Get that energy. Make sure you remember that every game that you have moving forward, then you'll just keep playing each match as if it is your last.
Absolutely, man. Playing each and every single game like it's the last one you will play. It's like the grand finals match, right? If you get the booyah, you walk away with the top spot, with the biggest prize, with the biggest slice of the pie. That's how you got to play each and every single lobby you drop on into. Speaking of lobby, we finally have it ready. Game number 6 at Purgatory. We've got a total of 10 squads hopping on in here. We've got Flash going in for the Juggernaut run this time round. Excited to see how this one breaks down.
Oh yeah, really looking forward to how the flight path is going to end up right now because again, this is one of my favorite maps because of how cruel the flight path is. But judging from where we're starting in the northern part, northern Esports, I think it would be fair. But again, there's always some of the teams who are treating this as if it is skewed. So early engagement might be happening in Ski Lodge, and 3 teams are dropping in the same spot. There might be 2, but 1 would be close enough to go for the battle.
Okay, so Flash is the ones who are closest to the vending machine as well as the zipline here. So QE is going to be challenged. QE is out in the open. They do have some loot to pull away here, but the bigger advantage is definitely going to be with Flash. Almir is going to get caught out in the open. Mateos flanking around with the Scar, looking for the angles. But Mateos is overextending here. Celtic making the approach from the back. Flash is going to be in trouble if they don't pull away.
Yeah, let's see though. Flash against QE. This seems like revenge mission. Celtic from behind. And this is one thing. I don't think Flash have any idea that Celtic will be in there. If Hugo would have a sniper, this rush against Celtic, or against QE, might be ended. But Zaskari right now, a little bit scary. And QE's Reyes trying to beat them down as well. So back and forth elimination. And let's see who's going to win.
Replic eliminated already. Celtic sees this. Celtic hears it. They want a piece of it as well. They send the UAV into Ski Lodge, finds absolutely no one, and now they're rotating towards QE. QE on the chase for Saskari. The sniper on the side of Flash might just be saved here if Celtic starts engaging with QE right here, right now. He found the vehicle. He boosts his way out of there. Flash might just survive this mistake.
Oh, yep, definitely. They managed to get away. INV now introducing themselves. This might spell trouble. A lot of teams already going in for that rush now. But QE spotting a couple of players. They're in a waiting game right now, and the zone might be leaving them behind. So let's see, though, on how this is going to turn up.
Absolutely, man. 3 eliminations here in the hands of QE. And INV dropping by Ski Lodge. What's up with this compound? Everybody wants a piece of the action. INV now surrounding the players of QE. Celtic right above them. as Celtic looks to be the predator. Mia shows up at the map as well. What in the world is going on at Ski Lodge? Pugita sprayed down to the ground. Almir picked right back up as well. And now INV putting on the pressure. Mia right here from the back. A four-way battle. This has turned into all of chaos breaking out in the final lobby, in the final game of our group stage. QE, Almir sprayed down. Reyes, the only one left now for QE.
Oh, see if Reyes can make that run. It's making it difficult. They are making it difficult to escape right now, but for INV going in for battle against Mia Corp, this might be another opportunity for Mia to show up. QE though, they are elimination leader at this point, but they still have to go for revive. Switching over to ZMF against GCT Arrow. GCT Arrow is still in the race for those elimination, and let's see if this is a time that they can start that climb.
Celtic on the recovery. Mia Corp now pressuring INV. We had so many teams drop by Ski Lodge back to back to back. But what's impressive is, and this is a comment we made even before the group stage, the teams here in the region of USA have not been that great at avoiding combat, escaping fights, surviving. But through all of that chaos, every single squad survived. That's a big step up, Neptune.
Yeah, and now even GCT are bringing a couple of their teammates right here, and I'm really loving that they're just in a full-on recovery. More elimination will be gathered, more chances for those catching up to get those numbers in against this team of DZ that only managed to get 40. But it's survivability towards the end, and they still need to deal with some more of those opponents, especially now that they're just dropping in out in the open. And GCT Arrow would have a lot more of trouble because ZMF is close behind.
GCT Arrow 2 eliminations, man. They missed the previous game, and maybe someone needed to go to the toilet or something because they are just not at their best performance right now and about to strut straight into Stellar Gaming. Celtic, on the other hand, on the rotation. Mia Corp approaching Celtic. This could turn into a three-way fight at Forge. UAV sent out by Mia Corp. But Celtics quickly sneaking their way out of there. Next will be able to spray down Achupi with the Woodpecker. And they will get the elimination.
Yeah, and this has been a game of tag between Celtic and Mia Corp. Let's include INV as well. So they're just chasing, they're just going for hide and seek as well, and we still don't know where it's going to end up. Mia Corp now has released a UAV. They know visually that they have one player from Celtic on the other side, but the question remains though, will they go for the chase? Will they go in for elimination before they head the next phase of the circle, missing out on an opportunity to get some real estate, or they just back away, give them some breathing spot, and they know exactly where they're coming from, so they can also go for the gatekeep. But Mia Corp just wants to show that aggression, probably because we asked for it, and Nyx is showing with a double with that Woodpecker.
Yeah, I mean, great play from Mia so far, but I think Celtic's just pulling our leg. There's just no way this is the way Celtic plays. I think they would have bagged Mia by now already if they were really serious, because in multiple times I think Hugo had the right gun, he had the right position, but they're just not taking these shots. Celtic taking this one easy just to make sure they don't have any bullseye painted on their backs. ZMF with a very early exit, that was something I was not expecting, but at the same time ZMF has got really nothing to lose by getting eliminated early.
Yeah, Zam Team is just trying to pull away as well after sleeping yesterday's game. Mia Corp! Now, it's not just Celtic that they need to worry about. It's Flash, who is on a sniper run against them, and Biblix can be targeted by either one. It's either Mateos, it's either Zaskari, but here comes the chase. And we don't see any of those hit lists being triggered just yet, but as we switch on the other side, it's INV who does have a hit list against, or that has a hit list on Palitoso that they need to protect.
We need to look at Flash. We need to look at Biblix from Mia. The survival run is on as the boys getting hunted down. Erica finds Garcia. The battle between INV and Stella on the other hand. Not going the way of INV so far. Low with a big mistake on the Valiant dash, but very lucky Limas did not punish him on that. And INV gets the advantage, taking Stella out in 9th.
Well, no booyah, no problem for the moment for Stellar Esports. They're part of top 18, and they will be moving on to knockout stage. But INV still showing that aggression in elimination, but I don't think the run is close enough for them to take that #1 spot.
Oh, yeah.
MediaCorp, though, after the chase, again, this is the result of them chasing Celtic, because at some point they're like dragging out those numbers, they're making a lot of noise, and Flash, who wants to show up in this final day, is just beating them down, making it difficult for even MediaCorp to survive.
Absolutely. Joshua double revive. This is a big recovery from Mia here. Biblix pulled that off, managing to avoid encounters with Flash. Getting far away enough into Lumber Mill to pull those revives back in. GCT Arrow, Colado getting knocked back here. OP90 could not do much up against low. And his M590 went blasting in, and GCT Arrow definitely not going to be your predators of the day.
Well, let's see now. I mean, GCT are unfortunate for them. They didn't make it earlier this game. Now they're bowing out a little bit early. You still have 7 teams remaining. And Zam team against INV into the edge of circle. Zam team, though, already lost Young King. And INV will not be slowing down. This is one of the most aggressive team in this competition. And even without a booyah, they're not really worried about placement. They just want to bring in the numbers in terms of elimination.
Absolutely. INV. Zam team low down on the ground. Man, he's getting dead with low gain. Traded out by Palitoso. Beautiful play on the AWM. Palitoso looking for another one. Brian does not know where the shots are coming from. A sliver of health, and he sneaks behind the glue wall. Palitoso, no punisher, but he gets away before he can get punished. Looking for the revival, rich enough to bring the full squad back. Can tank the zone, but has got no team booster buff on him.
Well, let's see, though. No team boost, but does have vehicle boost to work with. Gets into quarry with that vending machine available. Brian left behind, and this will be a full squad revival for INV. Can even use that advantage against Brian. Almost taking him down, but in the nick of time, Brian steps in behind the tree. Bout also repositions. Brian goes in for the rush, and again, this guy with a questionable build as well from the side of Brian. But Palitoso just knows how to deal with this. But unfortunately, Brian can move.
Yeah, Brian can sure as hell move. Managing to get away. Woodpecker in hand. Kane's going to get sprayed down. Oh, instant revive. Brian is keeping his squad alive and kicking, but now knows that he's dead broke. Going in for the finisher. Palitoso manages to take down his life just a little bit. Valiant dash, but gets caught out instead. And Palitoso, what a brilliant play out of this INV player.
Indeed. I mean, he was making sure the position was on point. He's making sure that every rotation that he make will not be spotted, and he have better angle with that snipe. But let's see, though, if they can make a few more of those elimination. QE, though, not so much of coins to bring back the rest of the squad, and they're in a run to go for a back-to-back. So a little bit questionable on how they're going to make it work. Outside the zone will not definitely make the cut. And I think the next phase of the circle is ending up in the water.
This just pressure and non-stop action in this lobby. And just with the 5 eliminations, Flash already has their hands on the bounty of the day, Neptune. Nobody else can touch Flash right now.
Yeah, Flash. I know that they can bring more at this point. They're not giving up just that easily. And Zam team, though, being taken down by Flash. That's their 6th elimination already for Saskari. And the moment that they introduced Saskari, I mean, he was just on point. Probably better, in one case, better than Lucas as well as Hugo, but we know that Lucas and Hugo, even Sanchez is not showing up that much. But Flash taking a beat down against MediaCorp. They need to move up, and some will not be aiming facing any recover right here. So it's a pinch
GG.
by MediaCorp, and Fisher Tiger is Saskari's the only one remaining.
Man, I mean, shot from all angles. Flashes could not go anywhere. Here comes the Cryo Mine to say hello to him as well. And the whole squad of Fisher Tiger running straight at him. Mia spots out the final player on the side of Flash. But it will be Fisher Tiger. Fisher Tiger now getting shot from across. Mia Corp stopping them dead in their tracks. Sascari getting a little bit of breath of life here.
Yeah, I mean, if you can use Launchpad, at least move away from this engagement. He had just forced Mia Corp and Flash for the engagement. And now even Sascari's dipping in this fight. Look, reducing numbers from both sides. Now, Mia Corp right now would be in trouble. They are in the middle of safe zone, so some of the teams might take advantage of this engagement to go for a backstab at a third party against them. But the question is, who will it be?
Man, GG. This is so unbelievable. Fisher Tiger went looking for 1 point, and Sascari even steals off the point from Fisher Tiger, saying like, you thought that was going to be easy, and the guy annihilates their chances. Mia Corp, from punishing Flash, went to saving Flash in that moment, and now Sascari, 4 eliminations in hand, no vending machine around his area. Sascari, man, this guy still stepping it up.
Yeah, I mean, he bought a lot of UAVs in here. He just dropped it in the ground. I don't know what idea is, but I think the moment it needs it, he just will be pulling that off to draw the attention of the team for the UAV and then make those shots. With Chrono on their side, another sniper who you don't want to mess with, and INB in 20 elimination already might be the distraction that the Sascari need.
Holy crap, INV can actually catch up with Flash. Okay, no. There's just too few bodies in this lobby. Even if INV cleans up this lobby, I think it's going to be very difficult. Because Flash has 7 eliminations now, trying to survive outside the circle. Sascari still gets another elimination onto Almir. This monster Sascari. Unbelievable run. Can he survive somehow? Palitoso fighting Biblix. INV going on up against Mia Corp.
Oh, no.
And Sascari fight. It took the circle. It took so many squads to bring him down low enough to get eliminated from the lobby. But he's done more than enough, I think, Neptune.
Yeah, he's not named Sascari for nothing. You would be scared of this guy. Now, Mia Corp rotates. Great rotation, though, under bridge. But I don't think they spotted Reyes just yet. So a backstab might happen onto Mia Corp if he goes in for that trigger discipline. A great surprise, similar to what we've seen from Sascari. He starts off and forces everyone to battle like Mia Corp and INV, and now he can capitalize on that. But Reyes just couldn't hold it in. He has to let it go, but the deed has been done. They have invited Chrono for that shot, and now beating down on Mia Corp.
Oh, this is a fantastic play here for INV. They're most definitely going to walk away with the booyah. No doubt whatsoever. And this is going to be the second booyah that they secure on this Purgatory map for the group stage. Biblix backing away. The sniper for Mia Corp just has got no chance to interfere. Chrono finding Nyx. And now Mia Corp's just going to be on their survival run. Reyes, final survivor on the side of QE. And this should be the end, but somehow Chrono shut down by Mia's player from afar. QE annihilated. Mia Corp hanging on through Biblix. It's a 1v3. And it looks like there's just no chance. Low personally up close gets the job done with the M590. And it is INV that walks away with the final booyah available within the group stage.
That was another almost scenario that we're seeing that from the snipers are just insane in this fight. First Sascari, then the Chrono, then Biblix. It's just no turning who is the best out of that fight. But they're just capitalizing on the meta, and their skills are really growing on point. So I want to see those happen in the knockout stage as well.
Damn, Neptune, this is the most exciting region to watch for sure. We have been casting Free Fire for years now, 5 years for myself personally. And I can tell you for sure, these guys are insane. The snipers have got it. You've got a lot of scattered, amazing talent out here in these lobbies. I think each squad has got a superstar. I'm looking forward to the super team in USA where somebody just gets the brain to start saying that, you know what, we need to start investing in the USA squads. Someone needs to just come in, start buying players off of these other teams and make a super team. Because I tell you, they're not just going to dominate USA, they're going to whoop butt on the world stage and rocket as the world champions one day, man. That's the potential out of these squads.
Yeah, I mean, it gets me even more excited for Knockout Stage because right now we're seeing, even for those at bottom leaderboard are trying to fight back on those teams, even those who we thought that there's really no energy from them and fighting is still showing up. That's like Kiskea, who final player Reyes trying to pull Saskari on us, and even Biblix from MiaCorp, and that would be the deadly ace that MiaCorp has on AWC. If they can go against players like, if they can go with the tactics of player like Du, like Moshi, like MT7, and if you can equalize that in the sniper for this team like MiaCorp, then you have a better fighting chance against these regions.
Yeah, no doubt at all, man. What a run it has been so far in the group stage. You know, from so many exciting days to matches, I have to say this day had the most exciting runs of all. I think from the top performers, from the underdogs, from Flash, who put on a great show, from Saskari, who was just so scary, and that final engagement where Fish and Tiger thought they were going to... And this is what I mean, right? Fish and Tiger making that play is what I expected from round one in this final game. Yeah, you're not going to make it to the next stage, but you are going to show up for every single game and show everyone that you've got the heart, you've got the fight in you. And Fisher Tiger has been doing that 2 seasons in a row. I really respect this squad, Neptune, for sure. And fingers crossed they come back next season even more stronger.
I do agree. I mean, judging from how they're working right now, there's only a little bit improvement and they will be showing up. But INV, like most of the time when they are turned on, they bring in a lot of numbers. Even without Booyah, they're still bringing on a lot of elimination. And Palitoso, one of the players, one of the snipers who's treating Battle Royale as if it is Clash Squad with that build.
I mean, this guy is like a few OBs behind, right? This used to definitely be a super build. Like you said, in Clash Squad currently, yes. In Battle Royale, like a few years ago. But he's still rocking it. Mainly because, you know, if you look at the active passive skills, yeah, that's like probably a 30% difference maker, but it's mostly your mechanical skills. And Palitaso is a mechanically sound player. In the head-to-head, he wins it out in the eliminations, in the damage, in the assists. Man, he ripped apart everybody else out there on the battlefield. Even Kappa could not keep up.
Yeah, I mean, Kappa with Foul Elimination, it's 2 difference, and even the damage, though. I mean, Kappa, I know for a fact that he's been aggressive in all those games. He's one of those frontliners who's trying to make it live for MiaCorp. But 25 elimination, the highest ability that we have for this day in terms of elimination. It's just good for Flash that INB is not in that race, because if that is a problem, if INB manage to catch up to what GCTA and Flash has pulled off, then they will be missing out on those bounties. But I'm really loving that they're still showing up even the final day.
Close to 1/3 of the eliminations just for one squad. I mean, INV's definitely, or was definitely looking for the bounty of the day. But do they find it? Flash might have done just enough. I thought Flash was about to mess up big time, right? Because they were looking for the final circle. They were not bringing in the numbers this time around. But they might have done just enough because Saskari was, again, so scary, bringing those numbers in. I think he got about 5 eliminations in that game before 4 or 5 eliminations. And he could have been the difference maker on whether or not Flash walks away with this bounty. Because if you look at eliminations, INV with this massive 25 elimination game is very close to Flash. So we need to wait and see the leaderboard in a little bit to see how close did they actually get to each other and whether or not INV managed to steal the bounty away from Flash.
Oh, well, before we go there, let's take a look at the overall standings. And Flash right now managed to squeeze themselves in the first page of our leaderboard. So imagine from 18 to the 10th. This is a statement. The Flash is showing us is giving us right now that don't count on us just yet. We're just pulling up surprise, and lo and behold, we are surprised.
Big money team only plays when it really counts. And of course, whether or not they manage to sneak away The final bounty available on our group stage is yet to be seen. But down at the bottom, the teams that do not make it, obviously, be unfortunate. But like I said, Flash, INV up on top, but Flash still walks away with the bounty thanks to a Saskari that was just so scary today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Saskari was not only calculating on how to force Miocorp and Fisher Tiger in the fight, but also calculating on how much they need to ensure that they get that bounty. But another bounty will be given to a team, and that is a huge lead that DZ Esports has managed to got in this fight. I mean, if we look at just elimination, both DZ and INV was very close to each other, but the damage was just huge. And DZ Esports, one reason why they're so aggressive as well, because they want that extra 250, and that's just for a group stage. Another bounty for total damage would be given onto the knockout stage.
Absolutely, man. And like you said, they're so close to each other in terms of eliminations, right? DZ had 219 eliminations and INV had 218 eliminations. How close was that? INV could have actually made away with the bounty as well as the most damage, but of course just a tad bit too far. But I think it's the perfect situation where INV has really put on a damn good show, but still get denied these opportunities at a slightly bigger check for the bonus. I think that's going to piss them off just enough for the knockout stage.
Well, let's see now. I mean, speaking of knockout stage, we already know the teams that will be stepping in there other than the ones who we know already is leading the board. It's good that some teams manage to show up this time, and we have more to expect onto the knockout stage. And that would be happening next week for 2 days, and then right after that, we jump into the grand final. So there's no rest. There's no more studying for the team. They just have experience to bring into the grand finals after that KO stage.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it has been so exciting thus far. 2 phases of the competition have now completed. We had the survival stage, we had the group stage. We've said goodbye to a total of 12 teams so far. Next week, first 2 days, the battle between the top 18, where we will get rid of another 6 squads, and then the 12 move on into the grand finals. My name's AJ, I'm the Mustachio, down here with the one and only Neptune, the Gentleman Garcia. We're going to say goodbye. We'll catch you all next week, same time, same place.
Focus, aim, ready. Focus, aim, ready. Speed up in the race, fall back, no chase. Turn up with the bass, gotta level up your game. Looking for the fight, target inside. An eye for an eye, gotta level to the sky. I'm bulletproof, I do what I want and I'm breaking through. I'm bulletproof, got nothing to lose and I'm coming for you. I'm bulletproof, I do what I want and I'm breaking through. I'm bulletproof, I pull the trigger. Higher level, higher level. I pull the trigger. Speed up in the race, fall back, no chase. Turn up with the bass, gotta level up your game. Looking for the fight.